All right.
Archaic.
Archaic and gay. Welcome to the Snark Tank podcast. It's us again, yet again. It's me, Chris Raygun, and I'm joined as always by Derek Blackman and Tom Sweeney. Whoa! Look at that! Everybody, give a round of applause. If you're not clapping, if you don't clap, then we won't continue the show.
Yeah. It's been a long time since we've seen us on the screens, and I gotta say, you look a little smaller, Kingston. Maybe it's the angle, but you look a little smaller. I like it.
What do you mean?
You look a little smaller. You look
I'm thinning.
Your head it is noticeably thinner in the cheeks, I think.
I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm dying, but yeah,
That's
awesome.
that's just how it is. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
Be like
for
that.
for the audio listeners, we're recording remotely again because I had to go to New York for a nephew's wedding, and so it's just like, yeah, we'll do it remote when we have to. If one of us has to travel or whatever, it seems pretty easy to be able to whip this together, but temporary. We'll be back in person pretty soon.
Actually, no, we're not. I blew up Chris's house. The apartment building's gone.
Yeah.
I set everybody on fire. Derek's house is on fire. He doesn't know about it. I set invisible fires in Derek's house.
That's funny you say that because I actually asked friends of mine to check on my apartment to make sure it didn't explode.
Guess what? Sad face.
Yeah.
It's gone.
They unfortunately checked 2 seconds before it exploded.
Yeah,
They're like, everything's cool.
they were just too late.
While they were leaving to get out the building, it was like, well, that seems fine, and boom, right behind.
I was actually like, I was panicking at the airport because I was like, did I leave a candle on? Like, I was freaking the fuck out. Like, I really, because I had a memory. I was like, I think I blew out a candle today, but I feel like the sun was up when I blew it out, and I left when the sun was dark. But I remember lighting a candle in the dark. Oh no! I started freaking myself out because like my candle is right next to like all the it's next to like my fucking torch.
Bunch of nice flammable stuff.
Yeah, it's next to all the stuff that would explode, and I was
Why
like,
would
man,
you have it there in the first place? Why is it there?
Well, it's not like there. It's not like on top of it. It's just near enough where it's probably really dumb of me to worry about it. Actually,
Chris was like, "Oh
But
God,
First of all, most
my brain
out.
automatically like just like, what's the worst case scenario possible? It's like, okay, it's like almost like a fucking Rube Goldberg machine where I feel like the candle will it'll burn all the way to the bottom, and the glass will shatter, and then the glass will explode onto the stove and turn it on.
It could happen.
It's ridiculous.
It could happen. I remember when I was staying in your apartment for a little while when I was looking for an apartment, and I specifically remember you leaving your flare gun on top of your gasoline drum, and I was like, "Oh, that's weird. Why would he do that?" I just safely moved it aside because I didn't want to die. And I also thought it was a little bit weird that you had your gasoline drum just out in the open and not, in your closet.
I don't know where people normally put their gasoline drums. Like when I got that gasoline drum, when I bought it, I was just like, I know everybody has one of these.
Yeah.
But I've never seen where it's usually hidden somewhere because I know everybody has it, but I've never seen it when I go to other people's places. So I just didn't know where to put it, and I figured underneath my flare gun was the appropriate
I know
place.
everybody has one of these. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
You can't tell me otherwise. I know
you have an extra high bed. My bed is extra high, so I can put my gasoline drum under my bed.
Under your bed, yeah.
I put
Surrounded
my gasoline
by LED
drum
strips
under my bed with all my dynamite and my fucking matches.
When I get out of bed, if I sit up in my bed, my head is touching the ceiling.
Yeah. You kind of have to get out of bed with your neck all kind of.
Yeah. I get out of the way I wake up. I spend I wake up every day as if I'm in the middle of a God of War transitionary crawl space. That's how I wake up.
God, I hate those things, but I get it.
Yeah. Anyway,
crawling through a crawl space as soon as you wake up is so bananas. It's just.
We got a lot of stuff to touch on. Last episode, we somehow forgot to mention Diddy. I don't know how. I honestly that was just a complete fuck up on our end. So much didn't happen except for that, and we spent time talking about everything else. So the Diddy stuff is apparently there's new stuff that came out today too.
I mean,
so
the
I'm
real
actually
question is, did he really do it?
I mean,
or
presumably
Diddy didn't.
Diddy
Nah,
did
it's
nice.
crazy. That shit, it's a banana situation.
Have you seen that Insidious Photoshop going around where it's
Insidious?
Insidious.
and it's the kid, and it's just Diddy with that fucking stupid comb over bowl cut.
So much bullshit. There's a 5 nights. Can you survive 5 nights at Diddy's? And just showing there's so much shit going on. It's crazy how Diddy has become a pejorative. How it's just a thing now. Like in all circles, there's something like, oh man, like that's Diddy's house, or it's Diddy this, and I'm like, damn, this he's fucked. He literally never come back from this at all.
He is massacred. Like there's no coming back from this. He ain't putting out another fucking song. You know, I don't think that's
thank God
in
for
the
that,
cards.
because I mean,
No, he had some bangers, but still nonetheless,
look, I will tell you, he had one song that I liked. One.
Which one?
And it was that one with what was it, Bad Boys for Life or whatever.
Yeah,
where,
we
like,
ain't.
Yeah,
Go. That song went
nowhere.
crazy.
That song's pretty good, but like, and then
He produced some good people. He was Biggie's producer, which is.
But I still want to say he was the weakest part of that song. Still, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Like, so it's like, even when that song is good, like to have this nigga open up, I was just kind of like, all right, man.
Diddy
you have
is
Black
like
Rob on here, like I don't know. I'm being a little bit too picky, but you know what I mean.
Diddy was what he's the prototype of what DJ Khaled became.
Yeah,
because at least Diddy had the audacity to be in the songs. DJ Khaled just be making noise the whole time, and then like he doesn't rap at all, doesn't even have any lines. He just runs around.
You know what I think about? You know what I think about every once in a while? Like, I don't know why. It's just. Have you seen that footage of DJ Khaled where he's like sitting? He's like outside. It looks almost like kind of like a jungle type area, and he's like he just stands up all of a sudden like really quickly because like he heard something that might. It was just one of these things that like I love it because you completely understand it when you see it. Like you kind of.
Like danger?
Stand up and then you just stay there and you're kind of waiting to see if something's gonna happen or pop out and attack you, and it just you've never seen a fat guy like just 3 frames like just pop up and he's already like just up. It's so funny. I don't know, I think about it way too often.
3/16 of a second DJ Khaled stands up and runs away.
It's crazy.
He skips yeah, he's just skipping frames. He's like that scene in the fucking Babadook
Where just coming at
when
you.
he like when he runs up to the camera and he's like skipping frames. That's such a classic horror trick too, by the way. Like I can't not notice it now whenever I see it. It's like, oh, you skip the frames because it's unsettling. Mm-hmm. But like I'm aware of that every time. It's like the illusion's ruined.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, when you're
presumably this is what Diddy was doing whenever he would abduct a person. He would skip frames at him.
Do you know all the charges? Because there were so many. There was like, I know there was a kidnapping thing, sex trafficking, I think was one of them, right?
Yep.
It was a lot of shit. And I want to ask you guys something. He must have known that something was coming. So from the stuff that they found at his house.
Bro.
Wasn't it like 50 million pounds of baby oil?
It was no. It was over 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
Okay, so same thing. When
and
I say
like a ton of dildos. Wasn't there like a ton of dildos too?
Like 700.
Something, but like,
what if he was cleaning up?
That's what I'm talking about. If he was aware that some shit was going down, was this the aftermath of him trying to purge evidence? Was this like there was way more before this? Because when did you get rid of this shit?
It's like when you go into like a hoarder's house and it's like the worst thing you've ever seen, and then somebody in the family is like, you should have seen it before.
Yeah.
Before? What do you mean?
It's like,
There's no room for it before.
And I'm just thinking of one of those agents opening a closet and just 1,000 dildo just falling on him. Probably injured him too. He's probably in the hospital.
1,000 used ones. They still got the cream on it.
Oh my
just
god!
Fucking flopping and landing on you. It's like ah!
He never cleaned one. He just got
more.
He bought so many of them that he was like, these are all single use.
Oh, dude. I mean, that actually might be real because that reminds me of, you ever seen celebrities flex to say, "Oh, I never wear the same outfit." So they essentially, once they wear something, they never wear it again, and it might be, just we don't reuse dildos. What am I, a savage? And then he just fucking buys a new one.
What am I? I'm just a sex trafficking slaver who fucking
who threatens to kill artists. That's all I am. I'm not
dude. Yeah, so I don't even know all the. I just saw that he was in some deep shit, and I saw like some of the headline allegations, but like, it's pretty crazy that this has just been happening.
Right.
Like
another open secret in Hollywood that, like everybody fucking knew about this shit, man. And then especially if you were kind of like, you had your ear to the ground to like the hip hop community, you've heard shit. You knew that what happened with him and J-Lo. You're just like, dude, because like someone even made a point. I don't remember who it was, but they were like, J-Lo seems to just kind of bouncing around. She went back to Ben Affleck, the divorce again. But one thing she didn't do, she didn't go back to Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of says a lot because she kind of seems to make really bad decisions, but she would not go back to that dude.
Apparently she's dreadful. So
I've heard
my aunt
things.
went to the same school she went to in South Bronx.
Yeah.
They were at the same school during the same time. They're on the same age. Mm-hmm. And apparently in school, she wasn't a bad girl. She was kind of just quiet, but she was really at school. She was working so much probably. They were like, oh, they would see her every now and then. But people that know her were like, oh, she sucks. Like, she like actually really, really, really sucks. And it's like, damn, dude, you're like the most famous Puerto Rican and you have to suck. That makes my heart sad.
Well, is she?
I guess in America.
In the 90s, 100% probably.
Are you sure? I don't know.
It's very likely. Who was more popular than her?
I feel like it's just her and I guess so. I guess it's her and Mark Anthony really were like
and I just they got together purely because of that, which is stupid. Like I was like, probably. What is this?
We're both Puerto Rican and famous. We should probably have a child.
She
they had
hated
twins,
him.
right? Didn't they have twins together?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. She hated him though. Like it's so funny because he's just like he was clearly just better.
Yeah, it's just
I think she's just so clear. There's so many videos of her just like resentfully
talking
like
about
being
his
around. Yeah, it's just like why is he better than me? I don't.
Why is he such a good artist and I'm just attractive?
Jenny, you're basic. Like when you listen to her songs, you're like, oh yeah, somebody wrote some good songs for her. She's a great dancer. Not great. She's a good dancer with a great ass. And like she had a lot of assets going for her, but it's like, why do people? It's always people that don't, right? That people, because really good artists kind of acknowledge where they're at. You know what I'm saying? Like your limitations, and then there's other people that understand they're frauds that try to like pretend to be bigger than or better than they actually are. And from all the stories that you hear about her, and Matt and Trey did a good job on South Park betraying her, because not by like out of nowhere. It was allegations, things that they've heard, and then they turned her into this colossal piece of shit in that episode where like Cartman was Jennifer Lopez with the hand puppet thing.
Oh yeah,
and like
I forgot about that.
Yeah, the way she was behaving, it's like this is this shit that they've heard before. They've heard from people that she's worked with. That she's just fucking not a nice person. And when you looked at fucking Ben Affleck,
who's famously awesome, who's like a famously really cool dude.
Dude, he was like sitting, I think there was a picture of him like sitting next to her ass, and he was like miserable. And some people were saying like, oh, it looked like it was like a euphoric, like tears of joy type of thing. I was like, no, that's sorrow in his face. Imagine being
like when she's like has a bikini on, and he's just sitting there holding his head.
And he's just so. I'm like, bro, something is wrong when you have somebody that's prestigious, right? It's like it makes me wonder about Beyonce too, because it's like, all right, Jay-Z is a fucking camel, and he's like, I'm going to cheat on this fucking woman.
Jay-Z is a camel.
He's a camel. He's Joe Camel. like completely.
That is crazy.
Like, if you see Joe Camel, put in Jay-Z Joe Camel, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You search that. And ever since I saw that, I was like, oh.
Yeah, no, yeah.
He is a literal human camel.
Jay-Z looks like that animal creature from Toy Soldiers with a cleft palate. Like there's something, he's a strange looking feller.
Jay-Z looks like what a
Small
black...
Soldiers.
I know what you mean,
Jay-Z
Small
looks
Soldiers.
like...
Yeah, what is his name? The Gorgonite?
Yeah, Gorgonite.
He looks like a Gorgonite.
He looks like a...
He looks like if they made a black Thumb, that'd be Jay-Z.
Yeah.
If they somehow created one of those. But it's just, I don't know, man.
Not
I'm
conventionally
a
attractive man.
But he's also extremely rich.
He's extremely rich, extremely influential, right? We get it, but
he's probably gonna get in trouble with some Diddy shit too. Apparently, there's way too many lines that there's a lot of lines that lead back to Jay-Z. Apparently,
there's people that are absolutely dude. People are kind of going nuts right now because I even saw like some clown world. I forgot some fucking Twitter guy that was just trying to push that. It was Usher. So apparently Usher he got his Twitter hacked. And then so all of his shit was purged. And then somebody saw, oh my God, he's deleting all his shit after these allegations came out. And then Pink, they said the same thing about Pink, but it turns out, so Usher got hacked and then Pink purged her Twitter way back in the beginning of the year for whatever health reasons or some mental health reasons, but they're connecting it to Diddy. Like everybody's trying to find something and be like, "Oh, what did they do? This is crazy." And I'm like, "Yo, you gotta slow down."
Well, there's those. I know there
it's
are
real.
videos
Like there's stuff is going on, but also chill. Stop shooting
slow
shots
down.
everywhere.
I know there are videos of Trump going like, "Oh, Puff Daddy, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good friend. He's a good guy." And it's like, oh no,
he definitely went to one of those parties,
dude.
What are they called again? Freak parties?
The Diddy parties.
Freak out?
Yeah, freak. Yeah, something like he definitely went to one of those. Did you see that thing of was it Conan? Was it Conan O'Brien that was talking to him? I can't remember. There was a talk show host from back in the day, and Diddy was talking about his parties. I think it was Conan, and he was concerned. He was like, "This sounds not good."
Conan's often Conan O'Brien's on the right side of things.
He
when
kinda
the guy
is.
from That 70s Show, just
Right,
talking
same
about
thing.
being a predator, and he's like, "You're a monster, and you should go to jail." You should absolutely it wasn't even a joke.
That is so funny.
It was straight up. It was like, you should be in jail.
He played it like a joke, but he was like, "Yeah, I remember that with Danny Masterson."
Yeah.
And
I don't think he played it like a joke. I think people were laughing.
The audience
Clearly he did.
He was
because he's a talk show host.
calling this guy a criminal.
Yeah, but that's how you do it. It's that's exactly. It's a joke, but also you can tell when somebody is being serious, but they're also just making it lighthearted. It's like if you were to tell someone like, "Oh man, you're fucking nuts." You know, and it sounds lighthearted, but the motherfucker's actually nuts. You're like, "We're never talking after this." It's one of those things. After this, we're not having any more communication.
You cartoons Friday ass motherfucker. What is wrong with you?
Conan is usually he's one of those vestiges of old media that I'm glad to still see around.
Yeah,
and consistently every time he comes up in the news, it's never disgusting or scary.
Right?
Conan O'Brien yet again finds out someone's a pedophile 20 years early. It says something, but no one listens. It's again?
It would be like you said, Weird Al or something. Conan O'Brien would be one of those people that if something fucked up came out, that would definitely break my heart because he's been connected to too many of my memories. Too many, fucking The Simpsons, when he was writing The Simpsons, back when I was religiously watching Late Night with Conan O'Brien, and they fucking, when they got the rights to Walker Texas Ranger, he had this lever. That fucking lever was crack to me. Just randomly out of nowhere doing the show, he'll literally pause for 5 seconds and just pull the lever and show the dumbest fucking clip from those shows. And I was like, this is made for me. this is my content.
I loved. There was my favorite clips of him is when he got fired from the Tonight Show,
right.
when it was his last week of shows and he was just wasting all of NBC's money.
Yeah.
And he was just he was just literally trying to make the most expensive skits possible. And so he was like, here's unrestricted Super Bowl footage next to an original Picasso with caviar spraying all over it. It's what the fuck? It's not even funny. It's just rude. It's just so cruel.
It's just petty, but they deserved it.
That's cool. I got to see him. I got to see him at the Tonight Show, so that was cool little like
Oh, that's
caveat.
cool.
Yeah, just like okay, that will never exist. It existed. Fuck, I fucking hate fucking Jay Leno. I can't stand this piece of shit. But whatever.
Every time he
sucks.
laughs, I get angrier. Like, his stupid fucking weird ass hot dog looking head.
His hot dog looking head.
His head looks like a hot dog in a bun.
I just want to steal some of his cars and crash them. That's all. I just want to like crash his cars.
Nah, he's
That's
doing
all
a good job of that on his own.
Yeah, like, I just want to like break into his factory or whatever and just crash
did he
him.
crash? Is that what happened?
Yeah, he's
to him? Did
half
he
black
crash?
right now because of how badly he crashed.
Yo, I thought that's crazy. I thought he just. I literally like in my mind. This has been true for like years. In my mind, the story is Jay Leno got into one of his cars and exploded. Like, I don't know. I never thought about like how he got burned up and all
Chris,
fucked up.
I can tell you 100% that is not it. It crashed. It didn't just go up.
Wait, hold on. 100%? You get that? Maybe 99%, maybe.
Okay, I can tell you a solid fit. I'm down myself. I can tell you definitely solid 60% chance the car just didn't blow up when he got into it.
Okay, that's fair. Those are fair odds.
But yeah. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong, in fact.
Well, but yeah, no, dude, those Diddy parties, like everybody kind of knew about him. I remember hearing a Weezer song mention it.
Oh, really?
Like, I tweeted about it, but I don't think anybody really heard that record. So like, I don't think anybody got it. But there was there's a song called fucking, I think it's Trainwrecks from Hurley, which is like not a particularly good record, but that song's pretty good.
Indeed.
Where they talk about like, it's like we'll crash a Diddy party in disguise is a lyric, and it's like, what's going on?
Interesting.
Why do you know you have to be in disguise? What's going on here? Rivers. Rivers. What's going on?
I would like to run into him and be like, "Hey, man, what was that about?
Hey, man, what's going on?"
And he probably at this point he's
buddy?
like, "I can't say. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't."
If I tell you, he'll get me, and you see a dot on his head,
just a Diddy dot. It's like
it's just Diddy's face.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that whole story is crazy. I don't think anything new. There's so much fake news going out around it too.
Right.
Like I saw like this thing where it's like they photoshopped Kamala Harris next to him, even though it's like
Dude,
I think the original
Trump
photo was.
did that. Well, at least he didn't do it.
Literally.
But he shared it. The guy the guy that has ties to Diddy had the audacity to share a picture with Kamala next to Diddy.
I can't.
Yeah, and it's not even look the photo. I don't know if there is a photo of Kamala next to Diddy, but that photo was not real. That photo was like the photo that I saw was like they took Diddy's face and put it on fucking Montel Williams, which is crazy.
I forgot about Montel.
He shared that. Did he really share that?
He shared it.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. He fucking shared the fake endorsement of Taylor Swift. He shared the Taylor Swift who endorsed fucking what's his name? Biden. And clearly
Kamala, I guess.
Yeah. So clearly she was going to endorse Kamala Waltz, right? But then fucking Trump's like, "Oh, hey, nice AI. Thank you so much." And then fucking like a month later, he just in all caps, "I hate Taylor Swift," which is funny. Which is fucking funny. Dude.
And then 10 seconds later, he got shot at. Like 10 minutes later, yo, you can't listen. The Swifties, they will kill you. They will kill you.
I would never cross them. No way.
Yeah.
They're not playing. They're not playing basketball. They're playing like they're playing rugby with guns.
Rugby with guns.
I've seen Taylor Swift fans congeal into one unified mass, and like almost like a Katamari in some ways. If you remember Katamari. Just rolling around town, sucking up everything.
Katamari?
I remember
Katamari Damacy.
I remember Galvatron from Transformers.
All the fucking
I've been on a roll. I've been on a roll watching because I've just been curious. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just watch all of them because I haven't, why not? I haven't seen the original ones since they came out, and let's just see what they're about. When the fourth one rolls around,
were you alive when the first one, the like iconic movie,
are you talking about like
animated
the 80s
one
ones?
dropped? No, you were not here yet, right?
Well, I don't know what year it was, but I've seen fucking all of them.
But you weren't alive. There's no way you were alive during that because that was like early 80s.
If it was early 80s,
late 80s,
no.
right?
I'm 88, yeah. So
yeah.
But there was one that did come out in the late 80s, but it's hard. I don't really remember the years when it comes to like those movies because I'm not. they're fucking cheesy, you know, even though they're like fun, but they're still really fucking cheesy. Even like the one where the band America is doing the theme song and it's fucking just cringe, dude. You got the touch.
That shit is such an iconic moment.
And it's just
but
like,
that's such an iconic moment though. It's silly as fuck, but it's such a good moment.
Fucking, I feel embarrassed watching it. Like if you watch it muted, it's better. Like, but that fucking song is like...
I hate that you just said that.
It's in the same... Look, let's put it this way. I don't hate that song. I feel the same way about, say, everybody, I think, unanimously likes the soundtrack to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but we also recognize that this is not fighting game music. Like, we recognize both things simultaneously, because every other fighting game that has existed has never done anything like that before, because this is lounge music. This is music that you vibe and chill to. It's not music that gets you pumped up. Now, say...
I guess.
Well, it's not even I guess. That's just... That would be like...
I don't know if I would agree that... I think by nature of it complementing the game so well, it becomes fighting music.
By association
it's more like,
now,
I think it is because the game was so good, it was so well accepted. If the game was trash, for example... people would have been like shitting on that. Be like, oh, that's a cool soundtrack. Like the music isn't bad music, but since the game is bad, this was terrible. It just become like, I like the music. It does not, when I'm hearing, say, Captain America's theme song in Marvel 1, that shit gets me pumped up. When I hear Wolverine's song in Marvel 1, it gets me pumped up. There is one exception. Spider-Man's music in Marvel 1 is actually very much like fucking Marvel 2. It's like it makes you kind of want to just kind of groove, and it sounds all loungy and jazzy. So that's the exception. But but like those, I still love, like when I hear "I'm gonna take you for a ride," it immediately, it's like propaganda. It's like you turn into a Manchurian candidate. As soon as I hear "I'm gonna take you for a ride," I see that stupid screen, and I hear like, and I'm like,
dude, it's so good. It really is like that. Yeah, man, that whole game is fucking.
You become way more American when you hear that music. You're like,
every now and again, just like sound design really slaps, you know. And it's just like that's one of those games where it's just like the sound team fucking nailed it. They like that game would be fun. That game would be fun with just the sounds and none of the characters. Like if it was literally stick figures fighting each other to that same exact music with those same exact sound effects, it would be like, this is bomb, dude.
It would stand the fuck out. It's one of the most.
I can't wait for.
What do you got?
Yeah, I can't wait for visuals to be a part of this.
That was such a lightning in the bottle, though, right? Because like it can never be done again. It won't. Like as far as it just won't work. It won't.
That was like the middle point, the transitionary period too, because like looking back at that game, like I kind of forgot certain details of it. Like I kind of forgot that the backgrounds were 3D and the characters were pixel kind of like sprite art. Yeah. Like I forgot that was part of that game. Like I forgot that that's how that worked. But now it's like, before that it was all pixel, and after that it was all 3D, and there's like that was like that middle period where it's like, oh, this is good. This is a good mix of technology. It reminds me of Oddworld for the PS1, where that was like they had like pre-rendered, like all of the stages were it's Final Fantasy VII as well, where like all the stages are pre-rendered, so it looks crazy good, and then your character is like kind of like pixels. It's like dude, well, it's cool. Yeah. It gives such a cool like style to like the world that you're in, and now it's like it's all 3D. It used to be all pixels, and you had this like weird experimental period in time where they were fucking around with both of them. Yeah, and you got a little bit of that too with like Kingston. You might know what the fuck is that game? The one that looks Octopath Traveler, where it's like it's kind of doing that again. Yeah, but like it's such a rare thing. Like I don't think you'll ever see a fighting game like that again, where it's like, oh, we're gonna have pixel art sprites and like fully 3D.
We're never gonna have that again, because pixel art sprites probably take more work than like actually just making what's not pixel art.
Pixel art is hard.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to do.
It was fine when that's all they could do. Is like, this is how you make games. But now they're like, no, we don't want to do that.
It's a skill set that nobody really has anymore. Like people when somebody grows up now and they want to make video games, they're learning like Unity and Unreal. Like they're not learning how to make fucking pixel art.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Tragic.
Generally speaking.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right.
Anyway, Diddy's gay.
Diddy's. I mean, he's definitely, there's some gay in him for sure, because he wasn't just fucking women. You know that. Like, there's no
She
way
be
you're gonna have
doing silly-
700
she be doing
dildos or
silly
whatever the
shit.
fuck. You can have that many dildos and just fucking chicks. That like there's no way.
Yeah. I don't have 700 dildos. You know?
I have 0 and it upsets me. And I'm like, why is there no dildos in this house?
I have none, and I'm okay with that.
You're fucking lame, dude. You're fucking lame as shit.
All right. Let's move on. Let's move on to this. So Derek's kind of new to this. He just stumbled into this morning, apparently.
This morning.
But some of you listeners might be familiar with the Act Man. We've talked about him. Has he guested on the show remotely before?
I don't think
no?
so.
No, not yet.
I remember vividly talking about him when we did the one live show, because it was him versus Quantum TV.
Quantum TV, that's right. Yeah.
And this is a very similar situation, which is funny.
It is. Yeah, so I'll catch you guys up to speed. So Act Man, obviously a YouTube content guy, good dude. I like him a lot. We've hung out a couple times. I think the last time I saw him was Creator Clash.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
And he was drunk and asking me to make more videos. But that was sweet. But he was so recently he's gotten into a bit of a kerfuffle, a bit of a brouhaha, if you will, with this guy named AndyPants Gaming. Now, AndyPants Gaming is a guy I've never heard of before this whole situation happened.
Just found out about him 2 hours ago.
Yeah, he's a largely nothing person. He makes the kind of stuff you would expect. He makes oh, well, why are females so ugly in video games now? Why is woke? Everything's woke. Everything's
gay. That's the big one.
Everything's gay.
Is literal.
Why?
Not even no hyperbole.
Is a gay DI propaganda.
No hyperbole.
Dude, no exaggeration. Literally that. It's literally that kind of content. And so I can't remember exactly what sparked the fight between them, but
I know what it was.
They agreed. Do you know what it is?
It was he made a video saying these content creators are woke.
That's right.
Yeah. And then Act Man was in the thumbnail.
Yeah, he called out, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, he called out Act Man, Luke Stevens, and Skill Up. All these people I know. I don't know Luke very well at all, I don't think. But I know Skill Up. And Act Man, obviously. So it was very funny to see. I never actually watched that video. But I saw the thumbnail because I figured I know what the video is going to be.
Of course
so
you
I was
do.
like, oh, yeah, I get it. That's funny. And I saw Act Man watch it. And so he agreed to basically debate this AndyPants guy, Act Man. So they go on a stream together. And he just kind of trounces him. Not brutally or anything. He just clearly, AndyPants didn't. Well, first of all, he has no point. He doesn't have a good point. He doesn't have good reasoning. He doesn't have anything to say. And so Act Man was just constantly what are you doing here, dude? Just dog walking him. And the stream ends.
He's embarrassing him. This is crazy.
And so the stream ends, and then I guess something happens where he disables the comments, he unlists the stream, he relists the stream, but keeps the comments disabled. And so Act Man posts the stream on his channel with comments enabled, saying hey, look, if I did badly, whatever, come criticize me, I don't care. We keep the comments up. And so Andy copyright striked him, which is big no. There's no faster way to get yourself on the shit list of literally everybody on YouTube than to do that. It really is. You might as well have killed yourself on camera with a poor. You might as well have put a gun in your mouth and shot yourself with a canvas behind you with the best of me written on it.
You might as well have killed yourself on camera,
bro. No, but
for real, it is
to do it. Also, not only just to do it, but to do it to the Act Man.
Not
do
him.
It,
not
do it to
him,
the
bro.
Act Attorney, essentially. He just gave him a golden goose. He just let's make another grandiose video tearing you to shreds.
If you didn't like Kelly, you just gave Kelly so much money for the next few months.
What are you doing, sir?
So much money. That's my friend, so I'm not on your side, buddy. But like, if anybody was there to tell you, like, hey, not that one. Don't keep engaging this guy. Did he not see what he did to Quantum? Quantum's that's dead actually, now. Quantum's a smoking. He's a smoking crater now. It's been over a year. He's a smoking crater.
It's just, dude. Like, you cannot. People will mobilize around content around copyright strike abuse like nothing.
Right.
Like it really is like a sacred kind of rule where it's like, especially like, look, there's an argument to be made whether or not people, you know, are stealing content or whatever, right? Like, fine. But in this scenario, especially as YouTube has evolved over time, like, it's just generally agreed upon, I've noticed, that if people are on a debate with each other, they both upload the thing. Like, that's been like a pretty common
ground.
Of course, that has always been a thing.
Because they're, but especially now as debate content has been kind of like, because long form content is more the meta now. A lot of people are posting their own sides of the debate, and you know, whatever. And then there's like the debate host channel that has it. It's a pretty common rule here, and so for this dude to just not be aware of that, or just not care. It's crazy.
It's definitely.
He had to be coming in his own pants.
So
he
this
had
guy,
to be like shitting himself or something like that. There's no way.
Let's talk about this guy. So to be fair, I've only had about maybe 40 minutes to look into him. There's a video. I don't know the gentleman's name. I wish I would like to shout him out because he actually made a really good video. It's still up here. This guy's name is the Gamer Tron Show, and he made AndyPants Gaming is a liar, and I can prove it. And so I was looking at other stuff, and I got 20 minutes into this video. And 20 minutes into it was already just like, in fucking sanity, how lazy of a grifter he is. How he started off being a apolitical gaming platform, talking about how much he enjoyed what was the Ubisoft game that just came out with the boats and shit? The ships?
Skull and Bones?
He fucking enjoyed the shit of Skull and Bones and was pushing back against people that were shitting on it. He enjoyed Redfall. He thoroughly enjoyed Redfall. One of his favorite games, I can't remember what it was, but it was a very, you know, gay and inclusive, you know, like diverse game. It was like a fucking like an Overwatch type of thing. I can't remember what it was called.
Ew.
But it was his game of the year. I forgot what it was. I wish I remember what it was called, but he liked it more than Halo Infinite. He was basically all of his old content, and then fucking like not even a month later, he made that "Why are games not all masculine?" And once that blew up, then he started making this just specifically gay content, anti-gay content, privated a bunch of his old content to show that, how he used to be a complete pussy and liked terrible games. He liked terrible games. He liked games that were underwhelming. And
how he described it in that, did you watch the debate?
I unfortunately didn't get to because since it was taken down.
So he's talking about how, like, he says at one point, he's like, yeah, I used to go hard for Xbox, and like whatever, like, so what? And then there's a point in the video where he's like, where he kind of gives away the game a little bit, where he's like, yeah, I'm a religious person and I debated atheists, and then I lost 22 subscribers, so I shouldn't have done that. And he just kind of says that, and Actman didn't really
pick up on it.
I wish he would have went harder, because there are certain points where I'm like, dude, what the fuck did you just say? You're so stupid, this guy. I would have torn this guy to shreds, and I think Actman was being like a lot nicer than he needed to be. But it's just like, dude, you're not being an authentic person. If you feel this way and you want to debate atheists, losing 22 subscribers shouldn't be like, oh, I shouldn't do that. You know what I mean? That's just like, that's you, is it not?
Right.
So now aren't you literally, by not doing what you want to do to placate an audience, aren't you then pandering in the way that you accuse these game studios of doing? I don't know. It's very fucking silly. His point about masculinity in games is really fucking stupid.
What was his point? What was he trying to say?
His point was that in the debate, we used to get hyper masculine games, and now everything is feminine. 100% of games are gay and woke. Literally, he says this.
It's so
statistic.
Lazy. It's so lazy.
But I mean, it doesn't even take into account the fact that, like, dude, most games don't. I don't know how to tell somebody this, because it feels like they just don't play games. So it feels weird that they're even having a conversation. But most games don't have set in stone protagonists now. Like, most games are build your own people kind of games now. Like I like, what was the last game that even had like actually the one that comes to mind is one that I played recently, Immortals of Avium, which is literally you play as a straight white guy.
Right. Like
and like I
feel like most games like games that are like new IPs, very much so. Yes, like new IPs, you're definitely like do whatever the fuck you want. You're like, hey, here's a blank slate and make your character have 4
make your own
dicks,
guy.
2 pussies, 8 hands. Like, but before, like obviously when you're doing like a series, like yes, God of War 2 is not gonna have you play as a trans woman. Well, running around with freaking Atreus.
Some of the biggest games. I mean, think about Arthur Morgan. Think about fucking Peter Parker.
Dude.
Think about like fucking the Space Marines that just came out. Space Marines 2.
Those guys are more hyper-masculine. It's unhealthy.
Doomslayer.
Space Marine, Doom Eternal. Obviously, they're remakes, but Dead Space and Resident Evil 4. Fucking
still straight white guys.
It's complete nonsense. What's happening?
It's lazy.
It's lazy. It's not. They know it's not true. What's happening is that there are more games that don't have solid protagonists because more games are letting you build your own character. That's what's happening.
Sure.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's helpful to note that when games like Gears of War or Doom or Space Marine, when those games come out, that is also pandering.
We like
it because
Thank you, Christopher. Thank you for understanding what words mean and understanding how things are supposed to be defined. I appreciate it.
I should clarify. It's not pandering in the malicious way that they ascribe to everything. But it's like they have an audience that they have in mind to capture, and it's like we're making this game for this audience.
It's targeted content. It's literally
targeted content. I am fully aware that when a Gears of War game comes out and it's like fucking rah fucking bloody chainsaws, I'm fully aware that they are looking at my demographic and being like, they're gonna eat this shit up, and you know what? I'll gladly reward it.
It's the same thing for me when BG3 came out. I was like, oh, this is the kind of game I want to play, or Dragon Age. Dragon Age, I shouldn't be buying Dragon Age. There's no reason I should want to buy that game.
It just blows.
But I'm like,
it just blows my mind.
Right.
It just blows my mind that people don't understand, like when a game panders or like when a game targets a different audience, that's not an exception to that's not like a different thing. You're just not in the exact window of what's happening. Like, this is the same thing. It's the same way it's always operated. It's just you're not the prime target.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
And the thing that turns into is like, it's just because something is for someone else does not mean it's antithetical to you.
See, the thing is, a lot of those people making the content understand that, but they are capturing the fucking dummies that think that everything, even though they're not even going to. I remember this, dude. I remember when the culture war was really starting to slow down. I might have mentioned this before, but there was CW's Catwoman was coming out, and then a bunch of people, and I made a video being like, why would I be upset about this? This is clearly not for me. A CW show, I've tried watching CW shows. I gave Arrow and Flash a little bit. Arrow started off being okay, and then it turned into a CW show, and I was like, oh, this clearly is not for me. It's for young people, especially young women. That is their target demographic, CW shows.
That is fine.
That's completely fine. I was just like, as soon as I realized, I was like, oh, I stopped watching. I'm not upset. I was just like, oh, it's just not interesting to me.
Not my train anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like
this would literally,
like,
dude, it would literally be like me being fucking furious at Persona for being so anime.
Yeah.
Like, why is Persona so fucking anime?
What Japanese?
It's so fucking Japanese and chibi and dumb and gay. What the fuck is this dumb shit? It's like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
exhausting.
Crazy.
What upsets me is because it's not even the AndyPants game, because the grifters are going to come. It's just annoying that they don't have to try even a little bit anymore. Because back in the day, snake oil salesmen would get hanged and ran out of town. So they'd have to try to really be convincing to be like, I'm selling you something that is worth having. Now, It is the laziest, shittiest bullshit, and they're still accepting it. And I'm like, what is happening?
Derek, they would get hung.
They would get hanged, dude, and ran out of town.
Have them dangling from a branch violently.
Dude, back in the day, some people, when they were clearly being snuffed out, like sussed out, they're like, this guy is selling me bullshit. And then the town would beat the fuck out of them, run them out of town, hang them, whatever, arrest them. There would be consequences.
They would beat them half to sleep and walk up to a volcano and drop them in.
Like heartlessly, like with 2 frames.
Fucking a horse. They'd have a horse taking them to the volcano, draw and quarter them as he's falling into the volcano. So they got to sacrifice the horses too, unfortunately. But
unfortunately, the horses got to go too.
Can you? So wait. So how I'm imagining this is working is that they almost
the airdrop.
He's in the So he's in the center of the volcano. He's dangling from like a helicopter, and then in the 4 quadrants of the edge of the volcano, there are horses tied to his limbs, and then they throw the horses into the volcano, and then they yank his arms and legs off, and then just dip him into the volcano with the helicopter.
The horses always die too, though. They always die too. It's unfortunate.
Right. Well, it's a good thing there are so many.
Yeah, they have plenty of horses, but.
Yeah, plenty of horses. These are our drawn quarter horses specifically meant for sacrifice.
Did you guys ever see that horses' feet, like horses' hooves, they keep growing? I didn't know they kept growing.
Yeah, they're like tentacles. Yeah.
No, the nail part. That's a nail.
Oh, I don't know. Whatever. I could give a fuck.
I don't know.
I could give a fuck.
You tried to answer. I gave you something antithetical to your answer, and you got upset and shut me down.
Yeah, we were talking about the horse tentacles, so I don't care.
I don't want to be part of this anymore. I don't want to be part of this anymore.
I will. Yeah. No. So you're totally right though. Like the effort that used to have to go into it at least demanded some level of respect, and now it kind of doesn't.
Yeah.
Now it's just like this is like you're phoning this in so obviously to the point where like you're not even really preparing for a debate in front of your entire audience, to the point where like you look so stupid even to them.
Right.
It's like, imagine like I don't know, man. There's just no effort there. Dude sucks.
It's crazy. I barely learned about it. I was like, I can't believe this guy has videos that have like over 1 million views or something, and it is the laziest fucking content. Like he's not saying anything. He's just saying this shit is gay. And I'm like, not even in a funny, ironic way, like how we would banter about shit. But literally just being like, Actman, this is gay.
Actman started that debate being like, this is satire, right? Like you're joking, right? Because it is.
That's what it sounds like.
It feels satirical. It's
unbelievably stupid.
Yeah.
But it's also profitable. So it's like, hey, look, man, like he's gonna do it because it's gonna make him more money than his authentic opinion is going to make him.
Oh, 1,000. So that's exactly what happened, right? When he was just like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna say I'm Christian and I hate gays, and then all of a sudden the money started pouring in. And like, well, dude, do you remember? Just real quick, do you remember the fucking Harry Potter thing, where there was a lot of these guys, these anti-woke people that were supporting Harry Potter because there was some people trying to boycott it because of what's her name, J.K. Rowling's anti-trans rhetoric. And so they were supporting that shit, but then this guy's saying, "Don't play this shit; it's witchcraft." And then he's like, "I'm just like, bro, what you got?"
Are you serious?
Yeah, 1,000%. He was like a Christian man would not play this game, and then completely ignores Doom though. You can play games with demons in it and shit. That's fine. That's fine.
The Hogwarts
no,
Legacy
because you're
stuff.
a holy justifier of God's will in Doom. You're bringing down damnation on the devil's work.
Yeah, I guess. Right.
You kill angels in that game, though, technically. So, like,
even
Doom Eternal, I know.
Even though, like, literally, Doom guy's demon charged, if I'm not mistaken. That's why he's so fucking crazy.
I mean, he's all over the fucking place. But it's
man,
it does make me want to more than ever, maybe just even because there's a guy in the hip hop space. His name is Deleted, and he distorts his voice. And he's been kind of like gaining a little bit of traction. Now he's not a grifter or anything, but he has. I think I've seen his content before. He has you might have seen. He's like a half mask on. It's like some anime shit, something like you've seen him before. But so it made me think more than ever. I'm like, you know what? We've been talking all this shit about starting grifting shit. I was like, because the one thing I want to do is like, I don't want to use my voice, because people are gonna get on. They're gonna figure it out. It's me pretty quickly. So I'm like, oh, I'll just store my voice like this dude, and just literally do what this AndyPants guy's doing. And then as soon as I hit 100K, I'm just gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm just kidding.
I was lying the whole time. I've been lying all the time.
I'm done. That was fun. I got my
liar. I'm a fucking liar.
That
I'm a lying
stupid
piece of shit.
plaque or whatever. I got the plaque thing. I'm done.
I would have it say like 100,000 subscribers, and you know how you can have them. You can have it say whatever you want it to say.
Yeah.
I'll just have it like all of them idiots. To immortalize them.
What should the name? Should it be? What sounds better? Grifter gaming or like grift gaming? Like, should it be like?
No, you can't draw attention to it.
You can't draw attention to
But
grift.
I feel like they would think it's unironic or something, and they would think it's cool. No,
That's true.
No,
that's true. Maybe.
yeah, that's what I'm
What
like.
happened
I don't
is
know,
this, right?
maybe.
The internet is full of people that are violently autistic, right? No,
You have to go. You have to go almost old school. You have to go like the
What do we got?
the or something. Do you remember those?
Yes.
Like it would be some fucking cartoon character in a suit.
Yes, I was gonna be a top hat and a fucking going like this, and then having like 3 different fucking frames.
It would be this. It would be like arms crossed.
Yeah.
Then it would be
thinking what?
and then it'd be upset. Then it'd be upset. Yes. There has to be the upset one. You're right.
That's fucking amazing. All right, so this is what happened. You're gonna start. I'm gonna start not gay gaming. I think it's
It'd
gonna
be so fun. It would
And
be
then
so
I'll be
fun.
I like it, but put gaming in there.
Gaming.
I'm making that account right now. I'm making that YouTube account right now. Actually, that account.
I gotta figure out how to do AI. How to. I gotta figure out how to.
I'll do like a VTuber. I have like a VTuber. They go there like saying a bunch of shit with a voice distorter, and then one day it'll just be me, and I'm like, "You guys are dumb."
This is not a bad. This is the most
what
excited I
happened?
felt to do something like this in a
swear
while.
to God, I'm actually kind of pumped for like.
You
What
wouldn't even have
like,
to
what do you-
put
like,
too
what-
much effort. You could record it with your phone. You know, whatever.
Dude,
Because
there's-
what do you like? No one's ever like. I guess everybody's loved the money too much. They're like, I can't give up this money. But the idea of like having like a channel like that, like a fucking super conservative channel, then like you hit your 100K and then you reveal your face. You're like, you guys are fucking dumb, man.
Yeah,
Y'all believe this? I was lying.
Wait, hold on.
Lying.
What's the timestamp? Wait, hold on. What's the timestamp on this?
on this. So what are we at? Oh, 51. I was like, it's been so long since we've done this. I'm like, where is it? So 51.
51.
You're looking to the
So
side.
it's 51:40.
You're looking to the
So-
wicked
51:40.
side.
So
Nothing there.
51 block. I want you to censor out when I say the channel
Oh,
name
the channel
that I said.
names. Okay.
All of ours.
'Cause
Yeah, send out our channel names.
I do want to use it. I think I am gonna do
I like
this. Because I love that name so much. It sucks.
I love it too. I love the idea of fucking around with it. This is so.
It's really dumb, but
And
it's
then
also
let's just
really
like
funny.
see who gets to 100K first. We'll see who gets to 100K.
Oh my god. Let's do it. Yeah.
The race to relevance.
Oh my
amongst
God.
us.
The race to
Dude,
relevance.
it's gonna be so easy. Especially, you know why it's gonna be easy? Because we're not completely stupid. So just having even a little bit of elevated, like of a talking point to a grift would probably make people like, this guy's really fucking intelligent. Instead of just being like,
How
Game.
astute.
game gay. No, don't
Yeah.
support Western gaming. And I'm like, oh, brilliant.
yeah.
Brilliant.
I'm starting this channel today, and we're gonna. I'm gonna spend so much of my night on Photoshop building this stupid fucking. Or no, bleep that out too.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Wait, hold on. Sorry.
Yeah, bleep
53.
out all of our names so we can fucking
Yeah,
start
yeah,
up and
yeah.
do it, and then we can just like we just kind of float around the manosphere too.
We'll figure
we
it
like
out.
get
We'll
we
figure it
get
out.
shout outs
Yeah,
from like Tate
All
and
right.
Sneeko.
All right, let's move on.
I'm actually excited. I'm really excited about this.
All right, last thing, Dragon Age. Some new Dragon Age stuff. Sweeney didn't see it, I think.
Very good.
Yeah, I don't know how you. I don't know how you guys. It seems
Look,
mixed, but mostly positive.
I've
from
seen
what I've
people say
seen.
it's actually really fun. Like that's what it is. Like it's a really fun game.
Look,
at least.
I think what's going to happen is the people that are DA Origin stands, there's nothing you can do for them. There's just not. It just can't. It's nothing. So you can't really focus on that anymore. So I would say focus on people who enjoyed, at least even mildly enjoyed, Inquisition. So then it's like, all right. So then there's somewhat of a decent comparison. And listening to those people, they're like, yeah, I think people are gonna enjoy the game, but there are little things here and there, like say I'm looking at that I don't understand. I've actually been really trying. I've been trying to find somebody. I've been trying to find a picture of a Canary that doesn't look absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like
Oh yeah, no, the Canary are fucked.
What is happening with that? What is going on with that?
They look really silly.
I
They look
don't
really
understand
fucking silly.
What? Why? Because it looks like a half human, half Canary thing. And I'm like,
They
wait,
look silly. They made
what
them.
is
They made
this?
them like
It-
not people.
It literally looks like somebody from the Concord team
Made them. Yeah, I agree.
snuck into BioWare and was like, "Let me design the Canary, please."
I don't understand because Dragon Age Origins, they just look like, they showed that one guy, he just looked kind of like a nigga, it was like, oh, this is like the black people, I guess, or something. He had like cornrows and shit. And then number 2, all of a sudden I'm like, yo, what happened? These motherfuckers like demons now. And I was like, they look fucking amazing. I was like, this is a cool ass design. 3, I mean,
in
still
2, they look the coolest. They look the coolest in
They
2
look
for
fucking
sure.
amazing in 2. They were
They
like
do look cool.
terrifying. Anyway,
They're literally tieflings. Like actually, if I'm not mistaken,
Pretty
like
much.
I think they're like
they're the
like
tieflings of
this
this
isn't
universe.
tieflings. They're like this isn't tieflings.
Yeah.
These are our own creation.
Yeah, it's pretty. I'm kind of holding on to like maybe they'll have regular looking ones in the game that aren't customizable because I've only seen that customizable shit.
I'm just trying to see some Canary titties, bro. If I'm being honest, bro. I'm tired of like being respectful, man. I'm just trying to see naked Canaries, bro.
Yeah, they did drop the ball. I mean,
That's what I'm there for.
you can go back and play Inquisition. See I think the Iron Bull's penis. I think you can see that.
It's not I'm not looking for penis right now.
Oh,
that's
true.
later.
You're looking for tits, right? Fair enough. Fair
Later.
enough. Fair enough.
I don't know, man. They so far what I've seen of the game, it looks kind of cool. Like I'm kind of flirting with the idea of maybe checking it out, but like that Canary design looks fucking like objectively it's bad. Like there's no it astounds me that nobody on the team was like, hey, this looks like shit.
This looks so stupid.
What bothers
You've got to
me so
change
much
it.
is that like they're not even. He's not even big the way they're supposed to be.
Well, that's what I thought it was. Is it like is what's happening?
Is he a hybrid?
Are there real Kunari in the game, and he's a hybrid? Because it looks like a half human, half Kunari thing.
Can
it looks
Kunari
like
and
Lord
humans have
Farquhar or
babies?
some shit. Like what the
I
fuck
don't
is
know
going
if
on
they-
with their
I don't-
heads?
Can Canaries have babies with people?
As far I don't think they've ever. You could fuck them but like I don't know if they could breed. They've never explored that. At least not in the games.
This is kind of the thing where like I feel like this is a toxic positivity type thing. I think I see the radiation of toxic positivity out there because there's no way an idea like this would make it this far into production to the point where like this is how the design is going to ship, unless you had a culture at the studio of like we can't be truly constructively critical of the work going on here, which apparently was like a big reason why Concord looked the way it was.
Yeah.
Like that was like Colin broke that story
interesting.
on Sacred. And it's been making the rounds on Twitter. It's crazy. But like apparently that studio was like that game was really prioritized by the higher ups to the point where like any critique was pretty much like not listened to or allowed, or people didn't feel comfortable like actually saying like what looked bad and what didn't look, because like it was so supported by like upper management and stuff.
Makes sense.
So like that strikes me, like the Canary design here strikes me as something like that, where it's like no self-respecting person could look at that and say good job,
Fascinating.
Sick.
like oh good job. Like you don't have to be a dick, but you do have to be straight with people when you're making shit like this, because this looks bad, dude.
It does. I
Not
agree.
the game, not the overall game, not the gameplay, not the story, not the overall visual design, although like that's kind of subjective. I think it kind of looks like whatever. But if it was Halo and it looked like this, I'd be like a little bit weirded out by it for sure. Like it's jarring.
Yeah.
But like the Canary are the most offensive thing about it. Like easily.
It's
by like a long
It
shot.
is fucking mind blowing that how it look, and you're probably right, which makes me worry about, because the most important thing, more important than the gameplay, really, to diehard Dragon Age fans is the
narrative.
The narrative.
The narrative what matters, man.
The fucking character development. Is it like is there going to be like a good growth and a good arc and shit like that? And if something like this slips, it does worry me a little bit that could translate to things like, well, you look at the art design, you're like, this is a little funny. It also could be the characters, and like Varric is a very well established character since 2. If he's not classic Varric, god damn, it's gonna be hard to get the play. It will be around him if he's not like, you know what I'm saying. So things like that, then I'm like, all right, this is the only thing I may not. Oh, I'm gonna buy it. I just know right around. It's $60 too, so it's not even 70. So I was like, fuck it, I'll buy it.
The fact that you're like trying to like do this facade, like you're not gonna. It's like me saying I'm not gonna buy it. Like I'm buying the fuck out of that game. Like there's no way I'm not getting the game.
It's funny how $10 actually would have probably made a difference for me.
There's no way.
If it was sold at $70, I probably would have been like, I'm gonna wait for it.
If
$10 difference, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm gonna wait.
It would take you getting the game and telling me it's completely dog shit for me not to buy that game. You'd have to be like, it's completely dog shit. Like, is there anything you like? You'd have to be like, no. And I'd be like, I probably wouldn't get it. If you're like, oh, there's this cool combo, I'd be like, all right, I guess I'm involved. I'll check it out.
God, that would hurt my soul so badly if the game turns out to be just, I can't see, like I can't have been waiting for 10 fucking years for a new game, and I can't imagine it being completely unplayable, like unenjoyable. That would really, but it does scare me a little bit because that's how I actually been seeing. You know what I just looked out last night? Mass Effect Andromeda's on sale again. You know, a bunch of Steam games are always on sale. I looked at the reviews, and there was a ton of positive reviews pouring in. And I was like, what the fuck's happening? So I started reading some of them.
What version of canon is this?
And I was just like, okay, there's a lot of people that aren't, I guess they're probably not diehard into the trilogy. And so as a standalone game, this game is okay. And I feel like people's standards are pretty low, but I think that's the biggest thing. If you're not aware of any of the other games and you played this as just a sci-fi third-person shooter, it's okay. It's the thing that makes it so shitty is thinking about how vast the other fucking games were and how diverse their aliens were and how fucking lame the Reapers and shit were cool and stuff, and then now this new alien in the Andromeda, you're in a whole new galaxy, and this was the best they can fucking come up with. These purple dumb niggas, and then they just get turned into like these subservient rock niggas, and then like it's and then there's just these robot things, the Revenant. It's so fucking lame, but like if you didn't have anything to compare it to, not too bad. It's like
are the because you're in a new galaxy. That's the biggest problem is you're in a new galaxy and they're still so similar to us. That's the big problem I get from everybody. Like
just humanoids. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Do some like I love the Elcor, you know, and like in the fucking Milky Way, where like it's so clear that these dudes are very far away from like a Turian or a human or something.
They're not from here. Yeah. They're not from here at all.
There's something very different about these guys, or the fucking Hanar, those jellyfish dudes. Like I was like, this is cool, and then they gave us purple dick. Like they suck. They look like oh, it's a Barney character or something. Barney and Friends. I was like, these guys suck. And then their feet are kind of like Corians, and I'm like, this is so lazy. Holy shit. If you've never,
what were they called in that?
I can't even remember what they're called.
I said Ass Effect by accident.
You said Ass Effect is the porn's
slip,
more iconic to you.
That was a Freudian slip because that shit was ass. I can't even remember what they're called.
Andromeda, purple, and
I can't remember what they're called.
Someone's Google's just that. That's how they move through Google.
Oh, ew.
They're called. I can't remember what they're called.
Ew, I forgot about these.
That's how uninspired they were. I can't even remember for the life of me what
are
they're
called. What are they called
again? Hold on. Let me click.
I remember the guy's name is Jor-El, I think. Is that right? Or no, that's Superman's dad. I don't know if that's right.
Jor-El?
I don't know if that's
you
right.
You said Jor-El. I didn't even pick up on it.
I don't even know if that's... It's something close to that, I think. You see that's a problem.
Jaal.
Jaal? Is that it?
Jaal is shown to be a straightforward ally, but Jaal's part of the...
Antari?
Anagaran Resistance?
Oh my god, I don't even know, dude. See, as a Mass Effect fucking stan, it's bad when I can't even remember like what these guys are. And I played just a few months ago, remember? Just a few months ago, I was fucking around with this game. And I couldn't finish it. I was like, this sucks. I can't. And I'm like, but if I had never played any of the other Mass Effects, this might be an okay, like, oh, that was an interesting story, because it's so not tied to the original trilogy that even like the references, there's barely any references to the old trilogy. They don't talk about the fucking war, really. They don't talk about like all the shit that was going down by the time they left. So,
wait. So, explain to me what happened. So, pretty much after everything happens with 3, if you do the basic ending, Andromeda picks up afterwards with people from. So, what happens?
No, Andromeda picks up. I think around the second game, Mass Effect 2.
I'm sorry.
I think it's number 2, because basically they're doing this mission to just we want to colonize another galaxy, essentially. We want to make sure that the humans survive, or it's not even humans. It's just the Milky Way residents survive. So they're going over here to undertake this mission. If I remember correctly, I think it might be into response of the Reapers, but I can't remember specifically. But it's not this is not a post. This is, I think I could just look it up real fast, because it's been so long since I've looked up anything in this game. What I'm saying possibly could be 100% wrong. Let me just look it up real fast. Mass Effect Andromeda.
I'm looking this shit up, and man,
it's pretty
sucks.
Cool, right?
I can't. There's such a suck energy to like every screenshot from Mass Effect Andromeda. It's crazy. Like every image that I see of it just screams suck. Like, it feels just suck. It's crazy.
Yeah, so
it doesn't look good. It's
between Mass Effect 2 and 3, yeah. So, yeah, this is like a response to, I think it was for like a survival thing, because it might, it might just, everyone
somebody
might
shot Sarah and he was like, I gotta come back in the future and kill. And then they were like, all right, we should probably get out of here. So people were like, we should probably pack up and move, man. Oh, no, man. It's kind of weird.
The characters compared to the original trilogy, like I said, the characters suck. I like the old Krogan. He's like 1,000 years old or something. Good character. But
there's an old Krogan?
Yeah.
Don't they not live very long?
No, they live to like about 1,000 something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Krogan's live for a long time?
Krogan, Asari, they live long as shit.
Yeah.
So like he's cool. I like him because Krogans are just badass in general. They're just no nonsense, and they just talk a lot of shit. So he's just fun by default. Like he's like a patriarch, or like kind of a type of character. So he's pretty cool. Yeah. Everybody else kind of sucks. Everybody, all the other characters. The human chick that's not a lesbian but looks like one, she sucks. The British black dude sucks. At least he's better than what's his name? Taylor? Jacob. Jesus Christ. It's like they try to make the Green Lantern Jon Stewart, except for just strip him of any personality. Because like, make this black military guy.
I mean, his
and then have him.
His loyalty mission is kind of interesting, but then it doesn't really go anywhere after.
Who, Jacob?
It's just kind of like,
Just his dad.
Jacob has a really good loyalty mission.
His
he's
loyalty
looking for his dad,
really
like every black person.
Beautiful fucking. I love how like they really showcase when you first land how beautiful this fucking this planet is. And
where he's from?
Yeah. So where they crash landed, where they crash landed, and so it's like, this is beautiful and stuff. And it's a cool mission, seeing that his dad's a fucking dumb piece of shit and took advantage of the people and made them eat the poison fruit. And so that was a cool mission. But like after that was the most interesting thing. And Jacob, there was times in the game where he would push back to even talk to him. Oh, no, it's not a good time or something. I'm like, what the fuck? What is this? Stop.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't think I talked to Jacob once. And it is
really?
In fact because he's after I did his loyalty mission, I didn't bring him anywhere.
I've never not used him. I mean, I'm sorry, I've never used him except for the loyalty mission, right?
I used Jacob a few times, but then like,
what is he even good for? What does he do? I don't even remember.
I think he's an infiltrator.
Is he? Because I literally don't. I couldn't tell.
But it's like,
I don't remember.
the thing is
he had
that
a pull field. He had a pull field for a while, which was helpful. But then I got it, and then I was like, oh well, I'm not using you for fucking literally any reason. And to be fair, like I did avoid him primarily because he was black. But
he
even
did
aside,
scare me.
He did scare me. He did like he made me like cross the street.
Hi, welcome to my gaming channel.
But I think
welcome to my conservative gaming.
that's right.
Jacob
This is the first thing I'm gonna. This is my first video on my grifting channel. Is it's gonna be
The problem with
why Jacob Taylor shouldn't have been in Mass Effect at all, and it's gonna be nothing to do with the fact that he just isn't a great character. It's gonna be all to do with the fact that he's clearly
put the
black.
thumbnail black.
Dude, brilliant.
he's black.
Oh man, these guys.
Why are you black?
You're making a lot of good points there.
The problem is that Jacob is like, it's hard to not just use Garrus in that game.
But he's
It's
also,
like
it is kind of hard.
It's a real effort to not use him because he's so broken.
Like
he's so fucking
but like,
strong.
look, I will take. Look, I enjoy. Like, say, just for the banter, I like to hear some of like Morden. I love his banter. I love how arrogant
I like Morden
he is.
a lot.
I just look because he's just like, I know I'm the shit. I know I'm so smart and all this stuff, and he's like pretty arrogant. I love it. And his fucking, if you talk to him long enough, like his show tunes, he gets into his show tunes and he breaks out into dance and song. It's fucking amazing. It's just like these are cool. Jacob doesn't do anything like that. He's just like, yeah, stuff happened and I did stuff and yeah, and I'm like, wow, what a contrast. Like Thane Krios, he's kind of flat too, but really interesting. Like, you know, like this like religious assassin guy. Like he's flat, but also compelling. I was like, man,
I like Thane quite a bit.
I think cool.
When I got to Thane, I remember feeling like, oh, I don't know, this is kind of bland. But then like by the end of it, I was like, oh no, this is dope. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened, man. Like I don't know if all their writers left or whatever, but like they
I think that's exactly what happened.
They're off doing
I mean,
better things. They're off doing better, bigger
probably
things.
that is what happened.
Yeah. That's why I'm a little bit afraid of the Veilguard. I'm a little bit, those are like just little things that aren't a big deal, but they're kind of starting to add up a little bit.
That game has to be a 4 out of 10 for me not to buy.
I'm just concerned. That's all.
I'm gonna buy it. I'm sorry.
That's all I'm gonna say. I am gonna buy it too, but there's little things adding up that I'm just ignoring. You know, little things piling up that are just. I'm just.
The thing is that I heard the game is fun. I heard there's some really cool character moments. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll try. If it's bad, I don't know. I'll kill myself on stream. Like, I don't know.
With the longest gun you can find, just a fucking absurdly
It'll be in the kitchen, and Lily will be like, Kingston, what's this? I'm like, don't worry, I love you though. It'd be like an elephant rifle.
Dude, that's sick. You fucking you have another webcam, so that's in the corner of your screen that shows it from the kitchen.
That gets the splatter on it. That's the splatter.
Yeah.
Why are you
gay?
Splat.
That's amazing. Dude, did you see that guy that's like, someone called it reverse gaslighting? They're like, when I snap my fingers, you'll forget that you were ever gay. And then the guy's like,
but I was
never gay. He's like,
oh, it's
exactly.
so good.
That shit is so good.
That
Great
video
bit.
reminded me of like a Leslie Nielsen like style kind of like that was like a late 70s early 80s kind of like joke.
I fuck with that. Yeah.
That would be written. It's like, if I snap my fingers, you'll forget you were ever gay.
The guy, I was never
I was
gay.
never gay. He's like, yeah,
exactly.
you were.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sure.
I've cured you.
that was good. I was like, this is fucking just, they both played their parts so well. That was so good. I was like, this is great.
That's a great clip.
I've cured you, friend. I've cured you. You're better now.
Exactly.
You're all better now.
You can't just to snap your fingers and state something and I'm just not gay.
All right. Should we move on to questions? I forgot to do the intro.
Oh. Well,
I forgot to say I did the intro. I forgot to say go to patreon.com/snarktank, whatever. I'll try to remember that next time.
Good.
But we're going to go into questions now. Remember, you can leave us a question over at patreon.com/snarktank. throw us a penny or two over there and get your question read on the show. We get a lot of questions, so sometimes we miss them, but if we miss them, there's a pretty good chance that they might end up on an Extra Ammo, which are Patreon exclusive episodes that are only available to patrons. So go check that stuff out if you so desire. Let's start with
desire.
Start with this one. Freddie, your biggest fan, wrote in. He says, Sup, older brothers. My beautiful, gorgeous girlfriend is moving 4 hours to university. How do I stay in touch?
I like that.
Now, this is like a...
Beautiful, gorgeous girlfriend. I like that. You're getting points for that one. You're getting points.
Yeah, you're getting points. Listen, man, I don't know. Long distance stuff is a lot easier today than it ever has been. So, like, part of me is like, I don't know, man, just... If it's worth it, just I don't know, man. Just FaceTime, there's Discord, play stuff together. I don't know. There's so many ways to keep in touch now. Like I think about like my older family or like my friend's older family, and they were like, "Yeah, my husband's just in the war for 5
in
years
Iraq."
Yeah, he's just in the war for fucking, and I get a letter sometimes, and it's like, if they could figure it out, you could figure it out with like all this communication at your disposal.
For sure, but at the same time, that's what leads to the idea of people like feeling the what is it called, FOMO?
FOMO.
What do you mean?
Because before, like, did you say homo?
I said FOMO. No, I'm curious about. No, I didn't say homo. No, I'm curious about what you mean by FOMO. What
idea is because of the internet and how much more connected we are to everything, people being alone makes them feel more alone because seeing people not being alone. If that makes any sense.
I know what you mean.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, it was more routine. People weren't as fucked up on it back then because it was so routine to not really contact each other. As a great example of that. So JoJo's mom didn't grow up with FaceTime or anything. Obviously, fucking, she's in her 50s, but now, she's so connected to it. She like it's a thing, and texting regularly. Where before it was one of those things where my mom's like, be back before sundown or something back in the day. And I wouldn't hear from her at all. And then now my friend, JoJo, fucking parents blowing up their phone all the time. And I'm like, weird how you didn't even grow up with this shit, but you got attached to this now. And now you're constantly kind of dependent on. And so hopefully you guys weren't like in a situation where you guys were constantly blowing each other up, because it might be a little difficult of an adjustment period. But if you're like my ass who doesn't really talk to anybody, and I try to explain to everyone, no offense, I just fucking burnt out all the time. I just don't. Yeah. I don't talk to anybody. People like, oh, my buddy, he lives in Glendale, and he's like, hey man, let's go to lunch. I haven't seen you in like fucking 10 years. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he doesn't even live that far away. And I was just like, yeah, I want just So if you guys can handle that. Y'all can make it work, man. Like Chris
it's an on taking, but if you're mature enough, and if by the way you're describing her, clearly you like really care for this person, and if you care for them, the work will work itself out, man. Like I've never really done a long distance relationship because I just feel like I'm not equipped for it personally. I don't think I have the ability to be able to deal with it. Yeah. But it's possible. I've seen people make it work. So if it works, it works.
I've made it. Even prior ones before. This sounds stupid to say because like I maybe even question other people that would say this, but them not the prior ones that I've had, they didn't work out. It was because of my partner at the time.
The woman. It's always the woman's fault.
No, like I've always personally been willing to put in the effort, and since I've been doing this job for like 8 years or something like that, I'm so flexible that it's easy for me to fucking work with shit like this, where I could just fly over to another country and hang out for a while and still work. And so it was really easy for me to do this type of shit. And so 4 hours to me would be like, oh, cool. It would be like driving to Vegas, So essentially it wouldn't be too bad to every once in a while just come and drive over there, or even just catch a plane if the flights are cheap, just to see each other every once in a while, which would satiate me, would satisfy me personally. To be like, oh, that's cool. We're grinding, and as long as you guys are both serious about this, it'll be fine. Because that's really the biggest thing. As long as both of y'all are serious about this shit. Because if one person's kind of like, what is it like, 1 foot, you're kind of like not only 1 foot in the water. then that's just like, oh no, nigga, you gotta both feet in. Both feet in. That's it.
I wish my girlfriend would be gone for 4 hours away from me constantly. It'd be fucking amazing.
Hey man, I mean, dude, you can spend too much time with fucking anybody. You can't like if you're with somebody, if you're with someone all the fucking time, I'm like, damn, nigga.
Nah, fuck her, dude.
All right. Yeah, but good luck to both of you. Good luck to you and your gorgeous girlfriend. Sure. Yeah. Hopefully,
I wish you guys nothing but prosperity. Honestly.
Hopefully, Diddy don't get to her, man.
Oh my god. Well, she's safe from Diddy. She is safe from Diddy.
That is very true.
What if she moved closer to Diddy?
Oh no, she like right by. What is he in jail right now? Right by his jail.
I think. Yeah, right by his cell.
Right by his cell. Like there is her class, and then his cell. You can see the window, and he's
just staring at her.
Exactly, dude. Sometimes
come over here real quick.
Sometimes
Talk to me real quick.
Happen.
Come over here and speak to me right now.
Come bring me a file and a cake.
Bring me a file and cake and some baby oil.
No, even baby oil slips out of the bars, dude.
He just puts a little bit on his fingers and he gets slipped through the bar. That's it. He's like, oh, good. You got to save the product for later.
Let's move on real quick. Riley Delete wrote in. He says, "Hey, Chris, Derek, and Sweeney. I'll be brief. Guests. Can we have more new or returning guests on the show like Jalen, JoJo, Lily, and more? Yeah. Jalen's even how you guys met. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the start of fall. Riley." Yeah, we'll have more. Like, I think actually in the next, I don't want to necessarily make this promise exactly because I don't know exactly if this will happen, but definitely I think in the next like 2 weeks, there's one guest that I'm in the process of getting ready for it. But then I think Jalen will also be. I think Jalen's going to be the first in-person one. Mm-hmm. That'll definitely happen. I can pretty safely say that'll happen within the next like couple weeks. And then there's one in the immediate, hopefully pretty soon, even before that, that will be kind of a fun one, largely teased or largely anticipated. So yeah, there will be more guests. Returning guests though, yeah, probably. I definitely want to get Actman on. Like that's the thing. It's like I want Actman to be in the studio with us. So if I can figure out a way to get him to justify coming down, he was just here for like VidCon or whatever, so it might be a little bit too soon. But I definitely want to get like another content person in the studio with us before the end of the year. I don't know how plausible that will be. I don't know, but it feels like it will. It feels like it's possible. Like I don't know. But that is a focus for sure.
Lily outwardly said she'll never do the show again, so I don't know. Maybe she'll be a little difficult.
Did she say that?
Yeah,
Lily?
She said never. She'll never again. She said she fucking hates everything about this shit.
But
we'll figure it out.
That's bullshit. Now I'm forcing her on the show. I don't give a fuck what she says.
That's bullshit.
I don't give a fuck what she says. I'm gonna strap her down to
hates
a fucking
everything about
seat.
this podcast. She said particularly Derek makes her. She said something about Jim Crow and Derek. I don't know, man. It was really intense. I got scared and I kind of ran out the room because she started getting like physical with me.
That does sound like Lily. Yeah, every time I see her, she gives me this fucking like stink eye. I'm like, damn, bro. I was like, what did I do? And she's like, you know.
You were born.
Yeah, she was like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I kind of wish Jim Crow was still a thing. And I'm like, all right, fair enough.
That's kind of, look, as terrible as it is, I respect somebody being that upfront with me,
Trans femme with trash taste wrote in.
Trans femme with
Says, "Hey, you three lovely boys. With the complete failure of the Borderlands movie, is there any media adaptation you would love to see be made? Personally, I think an LA Noire film would go hard." Oh, I haven't thought about LA Noire in a long ass time.
Yeah, I keep. Wait, what's up?
Well, I was gonna say, isn't that just a detective?
Yeah,
movie?
because I was gonna say, I think there were plenty of movies that are kind of like that, actually. Especially back in the day when that was like when cop porn was, that was a thing. That shit was. Dragnet fucking started it, and then it just went fucking crazy from there.
Yeah.
And I was just like, all right, yeah.
I feel like LA Noire is this like profile person in the game,
I was actually
it's fun. It's a fun game, but like it's just straight up profiling the whole time.
I never actually played it, or if I did, I certainly didn't finish it.
Right. I think I'm in the same.
Okay,
I think on my Xbox One, I think I started it. I think. And then the problem is I've seen so much footage that I'm actually even not. There's a thing in my mind that I can't remember if I did it or if I saw somebody do it and I shared it. Where there was a guy, I don't remember, but he's giving you directions on where to go. He's like, make a left here, and then you crashes into the pole. The car flips, and then the guy says, "Stay on this road," and it's so fucking funny. It's so funny.
Dude, I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly because that happens even just with this show where I'm like, did I say this on the show? Like I can't remember like if I just told this to just Kingston, if I told this to just Derek, if I told this on the show, if I told this off camera. There's so many things I don't know. Like I don't know if I experienced this or not.
My memories are fleeting and it's bad because I'm only 30. But like it's fine.
Yeah.
Probably not. It's probably like there's really not fine. But like it's whatever.
There's so much more to remember. I justify it, but there's just so much more to remember now. Like I don't think a 30-year-old in the 80s had nearly as much nonsense or like junk mail in their mind,
100%.
Just
essentially. To
sheer
pay attention
bullshit.
to.
100%.
Like their mailbox was full of bullshit, as ours is still to this day. But I feel like their mindscapes were a lot cleaner.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? The stuff that they absolutely had to pay attention to was so much smaller, I think.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right about that. Yeah, I think it's that
They didn't have to alphabetize all their hentai like I do every day.
Alphabet every day. What does that even mean?
Every day, because there's always new. I'm always getting new downloads. I have a server and it just downloads on its own. I'm not even there. Just downloading new ones and I gotta go on. Let me reorganize these.
Wait a minute. You're talking about alphabetizing by all you got to do is just put in the name to organize it, or organize it by name. Okay, all right.
It's in kanjis. I can't. You gotta go through the. You gotta do the lead work, man.
Oh, okay.
You gotta do the legwork, man.
I don't know, man.
You can't have a collection like me and not do the legwork, bro.
Yeah, fair enough.
An adaptation I would like to see, like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if I care if there are adaptations. Like, I'm kind of happy with things as I want more games, quite frankly. Like, I think there's a lot of stuff that's like, we got a Twisted Metal show and there's no Twisted Metal game to accompany it. It's like, why? What the
I'm glad you brought that up because you thought the logical conclusion to me was, oh, they're gearing up for a new game.
You'd assume. You would assume.
That would be my assumption too.
That series, nobody was thinking about it. It wasn't like, man, I really want this Twisted Metal fucking TV series. I really want. You were thinking like, oh, this is gonna be a launch. We're gonna do this, and then bam, Twisted Metal 6 or whatever the fuck. I don't even know what number they're at. But like,
yeah, I don't know.
It's just like, I was completely dead wrong because I'm like, oh yeah, because like say when Marvel's Capcom 3 came out, obviously, you started seeing the characters that were in the game, and I'm like, oh, I know what's happening here. Like this is such advertisement for the MCU. Like this is so fucking. I was like, okay, I see what's happening here. Like it's like you can see when things are bouncing off each other. Like you there's advertisement. There's an obvious. To me that seemed like the biggest miss I guess in a while for me. Where I'm like, oh, this is obvious, and it clearly wasn't because it's been out for over a year. And
what do I want? I wanted
bro, I want a good Street Fighter Mortal Kombat movie. That's all I want.
I want
to make it good.
I want a bloody Roar show.
So stupid.
I want it to be.
Can we kickstart
I want them to have real animals on set.
Oh my god!
How does
that work though? Because they're not like there isn't any real animal. How does it? What do you mean? What do you say?
You gotta do the makeup on the animals and make them look anthropomorphic.
So you get a fucking wolf and then you put prosthetics on it to make it look like a werewolf. Yes. You just shook his head. Yes.
That's exactly what I want. I want that.
Fucking stupid.
Someone will die. Someone's gonna die on that set. And it's gonna be hilarious.
Someone's gonna die. The dogs, the animals are gonna die because they're gonna be mistreated. It's gonna be a fucking disaster. But
it'll be art. It'll be art during a volcano. Like it'll be like art blowing up.
I'll tell you one thing.
Beautiful.
The documentary to how the making of this film will be much more interesting than the film itself. I'll tell you that.
It'll be like Tiger King times 50.
What I want is pretty predictable. I would like a good Halo show.
You already got one
that is not live.
You said a good Halo show.
One that is
come on.
Yeah,
man.
you got one, dude.
One that is not live action. I want it animated.
That's the problem, right?
Because that's what it needs to be. And then just leave it at that.
I want a Halo show about only Arbiter.
I don't ask for much.
Only Arbiter's younger. Years.
That sounds. Dude, it's actually interesting. It was actually like weirdly validating. But like I tweeted the other day out of nowhere. Like I think it was like yesterday was like Halo 3 ODST's anniversary. It was like I can't remember how many what year it is or whatever, 15 or something. And so I tweeted because it was going around, and I was like, yeah, it's baffling that they never did more of these. The future of this series was always in like doing weird extra stuff and then bouncing back to Chief maybe like way later or like very sparsely. And I was talking about like, the a hack and slash God of War 1 through 3 style Arbiter game would have been sick, or like a Flood horror game would have been sick, or like tactics games would have been sick, or fucking that Mega Bloks kind of Lego kind of game. Just that actually, like, there was a Halo Mega Bloks game that leaked recently, or it leaked years and years and years ago. There were screenshots floating around in like 2010 or whatever. But like the build of it leaked. So like now some people can actually play it, and apparently it's like really fucking fun. Like people are talking about it like it's like Astrobot or like one of the like a Lego game where it's just like, oh, it's really fucking good. And it's just like, man, they dropped the ball so hard. And Marcus Leto, who is like the art director of Halo Reach, he was also like a big Bungie guy for the entire trilogy, like liked it. So like there's clearly people there wanted to do shit like that, but I don't know. It's a shame. There's probably no more mishandled franchise in the history of like video games than that series, I think. Like actually. It's kind of crazy.
And you just got to wonder why.
But
why?
I don't know. Stupid people don't realize that they have gold just sitting in their fucking wallets. Like, oh, should we make something out of this amazing material? No. Who cares?
I always wonder about when people do like screen testing, who are these people? Yeah. Because like this is the thing that like, is it one of those things where they get people that are actually qualified to say, for example, you'd make the Halo series and you get people, okay, we're gonna get some diehard Halo fans in here, we're gonna get them to watch this and stuff, and then they give them genuine feedback, and they're just like, oh, what do they know? Is that what happens? Like what is this?
I don't know. Well, it's funny. Like when I got home, like my parents told me, it's like, oh yeah, we saw the Halo show, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And they were like, oh, we thought it was fine. And then like they thought it was fine. But then I was asking, like, was there anything that you thought was weird about it? Like not good? And all the stuff that they mentioned that were like, yeah, that part gave me pause or whatever, was all the stuff that they added. It was like the random lady that was the random human lady that was working with the aliens.
Yeah.
The sex scene and just all the stuff. And they were like, is that the game? And I was like, no, and that's why it's so frustrating. It's like the parts that you think are weird or don't belong, intrinsically, as somebody who's never played any of the games or doesn't know anything about the games, that you understand felt weird, are not supposed to be there. And it's just unfortunate.
That's fucking wild. I'm also curious about, because I haven't watched, I know two of my friends are diehard Lord of the Rings fans, and they are very disappointed in Rings of Power. They said the second season's a little bit better. I think it's just like Halo, I guess, where it's a little bit better, but worse response. But it's hard to sift through the people who are genuine, because I know there were so many AndyPants gaming types that were shitting on those shows. So it's like,
Lord of the Rings is, dude, I don't know. I didn't know the fan base of Lord of the Rings is fucked the way it is, man. I thought Star Wars is particularly bad, but Lord of the Rings fan base is also fucking crazy, dude. There was in Magic the Gathering, they did a Lord of the Rings set where they printed Aragorn as a black man.
Oh, they did?
And the artist was like, I like the idea of it. It's like, obviously this is not Aragorn in the real series, obviously.
Yeah.
But I really like the idea of the art style of him like this. I think he looks cool, And people lost their fucking minds. And I get it. Like, I get changing character, but this is a character that's changed only in the sentiment of this card game.
I feel like, it's the same.
That's kind of weird.
I think it's one of those things.
I understand people were upset, but it's like, whatever.
It's one of those things where what annoys me as, like, I don't care that the artist wants to do something like that. I get that as an artist, but also as somebody, I'm a terrible business person, but someone who at least I understand enough to where I'm like, look, I know this is something that I'm passionate about, but is this good for business? Unfortunately, it's just not. Like, let's just not, like, why not make some type of art, and this is cutting room floor, this is concept art, and then put it up somewhere else. I don't know. I just feel like making it into the final, like, here's the final, like, rendition.
I really I really want to somehow get the power to write a comic where Punisher turns black, has the exact same behaviors, and he's killed within 5 minutes, like the first 8 chapters, 8 pages.
That's actually kind of funny. I like.
He's just killed within the first 8.
That's
like they,
funny.
for some reason, are like, we gotta take him down.
Yeah,
this isn't fucking funny, and they smoke him.
I like the idea of, I feel like that's. Is that? Do you think? Okay, look. I know. Maybe this is rhetorical, but do you think does anyone care? Wait, hold on. Does anyone care that the Punisher? They don't care. They don't seem to care. Like if the Punisher was Samuel Jackson or something instead of Nick Fury, right? Would people have complained? I don't feel like people cared about. Like it doesn't. I don't know anyone personally that is a fan of Frank Castle. Like I don't know anyone that's like, this guy's the man.
People
I like
that are
him.
fans of Frank Castle probably wouldn't be friends with you.
That
I'm being very honest. People that really like Frank Castle probably wouldn't be your it's a prophecy that fulfills itself.
Yeah, that's a good point. I just feel like I just don't know anyone that would be really upset. It's kind of like Nick, because like Nick Fury.
Who is playing Frank Castle?
Did you meet okay, maybe today it would be fake outrage, say Nick Fury, because no one gave a shit when Samuel Jackson was Nick Fury
in the Ultimate Universe when they made him literally after, the artist was like, oh yeah, I did it because I think Samuel Jackson's really cool and he'd play a really badass sort of commander, and they were like, all right, cool. And then people were like,
normal. Well, the thing too is that there's a bit of a redundancy with white Nick Fury. Kind of looks like there's a J. Jonah Jameson kind of thing going on.
I've always felt that.
I remember seeing him in the comics and being like, that just looks like J. Jonah Jameson with a suit, a superhero suit on. It looks a little, and an eye patch. It looks a little weird.
I kind of know what you mean.
I guess, yeah. Because they both are graying.
He doesn't look exactly the same. He just kind of has that same archetype where it's kind of like, it's almost like, you know how what was it, Blade and Wesker?
Oh
Black
my
Wesker
God.
Is Blade.
Oh my God, that was amazing. God, I'm so mad. I'm so mad. Before we move on, Rip Lance Reddick, but before we move on, guys, we have to stop going too hard on stuff because I wanted that series to continue.
I thought it was dumb, but it was also really fun to watch.
Me and Jojo watched, and we had a fucking blast watching it. It was fun it was bad, but it was fun, and I'm like, I like that. I want that to exist.
Well, should they have gone harder on it? Is the question? Because there's a degree where people go hard on it, but not hard enough to because we know Velma got another show, another season.
Right. You're right.
So maybe they just. Maybe they went hard on it, but not to the point where they saw value in pursuing it for the engagement.
You're right.
It wasn't enough.
You're right. I think that was a problem. It should have been worse. It should have been there should have been gays in it or something, gay zombies or something. They should have really did something to spice it up.
Should have been gay.
Dude, that would have been amazing.
There should have been a scene where a conservative father of five, a conservative father of 5 beautiful girls shoots a zombie and calls it the F slur, and then Leon Kennedy comes and shoots the dad in the head and say, that's not okay. Or whatever, and then the young white blonde blue-eyed girls are crying, and they're completely fatherless. And then Leon Kennedy goes, he turns around and tells them to check their privilege, check their privilege. And then
and then fucking roundhouse kicks the girl in the fucking head.
They call woke CPS. And then take them to woke foster care.
Where they go into woke houses and then they end up as trans people.
Yeah. They're nothing but trans people trying to adopt them.
It literally follows, the rest of the episode follows their story. Specifically, it has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with the Umbrella Corporation. It has nothing to do with zombies or Leon Kennedy or fucking anything. It is literally just their experience becoming trans after their dad is killed for saying a homophobic slur by Leon Kennedy.
They can't give us too much money because that's the type of shit that I want to make.
We'll make shit like that, and we'll just disappoint everybody.
I want to ruin stuff. I've been for as long as I remember, I'm like, damn, I would love to just hype up the best shit ever and then just have it be not anything like that. Just like what you just said. That's exactly what I want to do. And then have people upset.
It would be so much fun. It would be so much fun to make like a fan-funded project for like, I don't even know, like I don't know, like some beloved, like a retelling of Mass Effect or whatever, and it's like from us, and like there's like all these like videos interviewing the team. It's like we're all really passionate. There's like concept art, and there's like examples of working prototypes of like, here's what a practical effect for like the Asari tentacles would look like, and it's like, oh my god, this looks amazing, we got to give them all the money, and then we make a ton of money, and then we follow Mass Effect purely from beginning to end, but at the end Saren unzips and it's fucking Al Roker, and it's been Al Roker the whole time.
Al Roker.
That's not even a good one. That's not even a good one, though. Like that's not.
No, that's what
what's so amazing.
Well, I'm just thinking off the bat. I'm just literally saying like something akin to that, where it's just like we are treating this super seriously, and we are putting our heart and soul into this, only to fucking yank the rug out from under you at the end and show you that this was all a waste of your time.
Like the idea of it's going on, and then at the end, like. He unzips, it's Joe Pesci says the N-word, and then it pans out to fucking what's his name, like Cinema, and he's just telling somebody the whole story of it, and everybody's like, what the fuck did we just pay money to watch?
Scorsese's in the theater, and he says, now this is cinema, and it's AI Scorsese. It's like
it's AI without his like, you can't even have his likeness. Like, he didn't even say yes. He in fact said no multiple times.
It's like barely Martin Scorsese. It's just enough for you to know.
Scorsese. Sorry, Scorsese.
That sucks. Anyway.
You lose so much money for that company. That company loses so much money. You're like, thanks for working with me.
Next question. Dildo the Ducky wrote in. He says, are you three familiar with the 1903 film Electrocuting an Elephant, where an elephant was killed via electric chair in Coney Island, New York City?
I've heard of that.
Coney Island, New York.
Sounds familiar.
I've never heard of this, but whatever. You know, I'm glad that there's a rich history in the United States of executing elephants for no reason.
I actually really don't, but okay.
I think what was his name?
Jefferson? Edison?
It was him, right? That was electrocuting elephants, right?
Yep. He's trying to test AC/DC
no, I think it was
AC/DC shit.
I think it was he was shitting on AC be like, look what AC can do, and I think he was fucking up animals.
Look how easy I can murder this elephant. You see this massive creature? Normally I wouldn't be able to murder it, but with electricity.
Oh, hey, look!
I can murder the fuck out of this thing. What is it murdered?
The debate's back up. The Actman debates AndyPants Gaming.
Oh yeah,
it's back up. So maybe the copyright strike already got released or whatever. That was quick.
That dude is schizophrenic, actually. Like he because I saw instances of him like taking videos down and then re-upload and like he's crazy. Like that dude's like problem. That dude, I think is I'm convinced that guy might have like an identity, like a multiple personality disorder or something, where it's like, I'm AndyPants Gaming, and then it's Andrew. And Andrew's like, no, leave the videos up. And then AndyPants is like, no, take it down. And it's like, he's having like a Golem. It's like a Golem situation.
Burn him at the stake.
AndyPants.
Why would he burn him at the stake? He's done nothing to him.
Andrew Shirt Gaming.
Set him on fire.
He's Andrew Shirt Gaming and AndyPants Gaming. And he just like always constantly.
Andrew Shirt Gaming and AndyPants. That's so stupid.
Sucks.
So stupid.
So it makes it so good.
Well, that's a cool name, because I feel like Andy Sweatpants, Andy Khakis, Andy Joggers. I'd go into a fucking variety of things.
Nigga Pants Gaming. What about that? Or Negro Pants.
You should do that.
Yeah,
that should be yours.
Negro Pants Gamings.
Do you remember for a while there was just people putting offensive word gaming and their channels were popping up? Do you remember that? Like Hard R Gaming was like a channel that was gaining a little prominence.
I feel like I know what you're talking about.
Fire.
People were just, it was just. I wonder if it still exists.
I subscribed.
I wonder if Hard R Gaming like actually still exists. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
I'm in fact still subscribed to them. I love their content.
Let's see.
So stupid.
And it was like some kid. I think it's gone. I think Inward Gaming is gone. But what I do like is that the third search down is 2017 live stream. PewDiePie says hard R. What up? Wow, and it actually... This is what the title says. PewDiePie says hard ER, parentheses, what a fucking... And then it actually has the N-word in there, in the parentheses. What is the point of saying...
That's gas.
What is the point of putting hard ER and then just actually just putting... That's amazing. People are... And the channel, his name is just Black. Just Black, that's it. Oh, it's Goku Black. Interesting.
Black.
And it's a picture of Goku Black.
So dumb, so dumb. Sween's Mean Bean Machine wrote, and he says, "Hey, Uncle Buck, Salvador Ali, and Spanish background character number 47. Question for Sween. Have you heard of that Fallout tabletop 2D20? Thoughts on it? It looks fun." I don't know what this is. I don't know anything about tabletop.
Swain?
I just saw something so wildly offensive that my brain, like...
Well, way to go, motherfucker.
Paused.
Like, can you pay it?
I'm sorry.
What are you
like,
doing?
I
What
looked
are you
over and I
scrolling
saw something and I was like,
TikToks?
this can't be
Of
real.
course he is. He's on Twitter.
What are you looking
or
at
something.
porn?
No, I was on Twitter looking at something. It was nothing, dude.
Get off of Twitter.
It was involving, like, I don't know. It was involving, like, it's just a really wild story that just made my heart sad.
Wow, great. I'm glad you're telling us it without the context of it.
Because I don't want to talk about it. It's
Then why bring it up?
because that's why I was silent. My apologies. It's gross, something horribly gross. But kids, what's up?
No, answer the question.
Which was
It was directed at you. It was directed literally at you and only
repeat
you.
the question?
So, well, I could, but you should have just heard it. I'll read it again. God damn, Sween's Mean Bean Machine wrote in. Are you listening?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm plugged
He said, "Hey, Uncle Buck, Salvador Ali, and Spanish background character number 47." Are you still with us?
I'm still here.
Question for Sween. He says, "Sween, have you heard of the Fallout tabletop game 2D20? Thoughts on it? It looks fun."
I have not.
I've never heard of tabletop.
I have not
I don't know
heard of
any of
it.
this stuff.
I've not heard of it, unfortunately. No.
Sorry, guys.
I'll look it up though. That sounds pretty cool. Fallout tabletop game.
Sorry, guys. I just saw another fucked up thing right now. I just saw another fucked up thing. I'm sorry.
So he just does it the whole time. It's like, "Sorry, guys, I didn't hear the question.
Sorry,
I
what's
saw a
going
big
on?
juicy
Saw a
pussy,
big-
and I couldn't
It
say
wouldn't stop
no."
squirting. I just couldn't stop looking. You know, it was crazy.
I couldn't pull my eyes away.
Walmart brand wrote in, and he says, "Do you guys have any Matrix moments that genuinely fucked you up?" I wouldn't say genuinely fucked me up, but I remember specifically having a moment. There were 2 times that I recall this happening, or something similar, where I was in the Catholic school cafeteria. I was like probably in like 1st or 2nd grade, maybe 3rd, but that might be pushing it. And I remember waiting after school for my parents to show up, and I blinked. Like, I was staring ahead, and then I blinked, and then people were in different places. Like, people had, like, moved around. Like, it was, like, one frame. It was almost as if somebody had set up a camera in one location, and then in, like, one frame was now, and then the next frame was, like, 10 minutes from now. Like, everything was, like, there were things on tables that weren't there before. People were moved around in different places.
That's
in 1
early
second.
onset dementia.
Is
Actually,
that
It's
what
crazy.
constitutes Matrix moment, or does that cover like a?
Well, I don't know. I remember specifically being like, "What the fuck just happened?" Like that. I don't really understand. This is the closest thing that I can imagine.
Because I didn't know if that meant something specific or, like,
no, I think it's just a moment that like feels like
we're
there's
we're
glitches.
in the Matrix,
I think
like we're definitely in the Matrix because something crazy happened. Maybe.
Yeah.
Because I have a moment like that too, where I thought I blinked and then an hour passed, and I was like really upset because it was, it wasn't the hugest deal because I was just going to summer school. Like I used to just to get extra credits, and I was like, oh, I'll just like, damn, it's 8 something. I need to be at 9 or whatever. And I swear to God, I blinked and it was past 9. I was like, wait. I didn't feel rested. I didn't feel like I got more sleep in. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Did that happen? That's the other thing that's the other time it happened to me too, where I was like, I went to bed and I blinked and then it was daytime, and I was like,
That's definitely happened before. That definitely happened before.
I don't feel rested at all. What the? I just laid down.
That's the worst.
That was such a weird. That's never happened to me again ever.
Right.
By the way,
Same. Everybody gets one, I guess.
My friend was playing tennis one time.
Everybody gets one.
So my friend's playing tennis, right? And they were like obviously serving. They were like hitting it back and forth. And I was looking at them hit, and one of my friends like went to hit. I felt like everything froze, and I heard the ball get hit back to the other side. And I was like, "What just happened? Did I just have a stroke? Did he just? He lagged into the hit, I guess." And I was like, "That didn't really happen." And I went home because I was scared.
You were scared.
I didn't want to die outside, so I went home and it's like I'm gonna die at my house at least,
Understood.
like a respectable person. I want to make everybody's problem.
Yeah, understood, man. I get it.
Sorry. What'd you say? I wasn't listening. I saw something crazy on Twitter. Can you repeat that again?
What happened? What? Come again? What'd you say?
So fucking.
What'd you see?
One thing I will say.
Stupid.
One thing I will say about this is that, like, I remember this reminds me of this is not the same because it's not a Matrix moment. It's just me being stupid. But like, I remember I took an edible once and I got really, really high, and then I went to the bathroom. I went to go pee, and then I walked out, and I think an hour had either passed or it started over again. And I remember, like, it was an hour had passed, and I freaked myself out because I was like, was I really peeing for a fucking hour? Like, I was so high that it seemed possible, and then I realized that it was just daylight savings. The clock had like jumped forward. And I was like, yo, what was I thinking about? That I was
never
just
thought about that.
Streaming for an hour.
I never thought about that.
I definitely got really high once, ate a bunch of Chinese food, went to the bathroom to piss, passed out in my friend's toilet, on my friend's like shower, like passed out in the shower, came out later on, was like, what's going on, guys? And kept smoking and then fucking plummeted into sleep. Joe was like, are you all right? Like, I zombie walked out of there, like kind of stood in the corner for a little bit observing the room, went back to eating and passed out.
Sounds about right.
I miss those days.
Dort Snort wrote in. Says, long-time kisser, first-time comer.
Nice.
I've been watching Ray Gun since I was 16. Now that I'm 19 and can legally join a war but not drink, how does it feel to know that people grew up / are growing up with your content? I mean, first of all, 16 to 19,
only been watching for
not
3
really
years.
that long,
That's why
actually.
I was kind of surprised by that.
It's actually after...
Well after the big era.
They're
during the pandemic.
Yeah, that's well after... Yeah, that was after... Yeah, it's just like during the pandemic. It's kind of wild. But I'm used to it at this point. Like, I've had people come up to me from like 10 years ago now. Like, I have people that were following me in like 2013. Like, before I had any real... Like, there are people still in my Twitch chat from like 2013, 2014 era, which is nutty. And that's over a decade. So, I mean, at first it's weird to hear, but like, I mean, I don't know. You hear it enough times and it kind of becomes like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. It's not that crazy. It's a wild thing to get introduced to as a concept,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I think now it's just like, yeah, cool.
To
like,
me,
dope.
it's cool. I love hearing from the OG, the people that were grandfathered in, because that stuff does blow my mind. Where it's like somebody reminded me, I forgot myself. They're like, oh man, I've been here since you had Dudley from Street Fighter 3 as your avatar, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, that was when I just started this channel. Like, that was in 2014. I just started the channel, and there was nothing going on. And he was like, yeah, I've been here since. I was like, I don't even remember I did that. And so, like, I love hearing from people like that. Like, anyone that's, like, legacy shit. Because they'll remember stuff that you probably clearly forgot because it was just so long ago. But it had more of an impact on them, so they'll remember. It's just like I remember things from, like, creators from fucking forever ago. I remember certain things from people.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man, I remember you doing this. And so, like, that's always pretty neat.
Yeah, I remember specific JonTron edits that there's like no way he remembers.
Right.
There's, you know what I mean? So it makes sense to me that, like, especially with just how much editing goes on and how many videos don't happen that are like written and like scrapped or whatever. So it's like, yeah, the the stuff that is out there. Sometimes I forget what is and isn't out there. I'm like, oh, I did. Oh yeah, that's right. That video. I never put that video out. Like I was tweeting recently about a video that I made a video about no bullshit, like a long one. And it was like styled after like a David Attenborough nature documentary, and I was like going around and like I was like basically like talking about all of these disgusting qualities from like loathsome animals, and like the idea was at the end they would like compile into no bullshit, and like he has all of these like disgusting traits that we would but like I stopped halfway through because it really did feel so mean. Like it felt so.
Also, didn't something happen around that time? You were like, maybe it's not the best time to put this out anymore.
Well, no, it was just pandemic time. But I think the specific thing about it was no bullshit specifically was like dwindling and dying. So like my thought was like, this is mean and this is funny. Like I think this is a good concept for a video, but I don't think what no bullshit is at the moment really warrants it. Because if anything, this is just going to give attention to somebody who really should just be starved off the platform. Because it wasn't like he was exploding. You know what I mean? If he was like exploding and he was getting like a ton of traction and a bunch of like random support, I would have made it no fucking problem. But it just kind of felt like beating a dead horse,
like you were
or
kicking somebody while they were down. Because like I don't mind punching down, but if somebody is already on the floor, like they've already been beaten. You're kind of like, all right.
Yeah, it felt like there was no real reason to. It didn't feel like a content cop where like there was like a good like, you know what I mean? It just kind of felt like I'm really picking on this doofus who's probably too stupid to even understand what's even like. I bet if I put this video out, he wouldn't even understand what the fuck I'm talking about.
True. I actually I had a quote unquote debate with this guy because around that time when that I always forget what her fucking name is. That the one that revealed herself to be like a Nazi or racist. Rage After Storm. Thank you. I don't know why I can't remember that fucking like. It's I don't know. Anyway, Rage After Storm.
I couldn't remember the last part of it. I only remember the first one.
That YouTuber around that time there was obviously racist people rallying around her. No bullshit was one of those people, and I was like, let's talk about this shit. Like, I went on his channel, and it was the most. It reminded me of like you talked about AndyPants talking to Actman. It was fucking this guy Jesse on Fire talking to Destiny. These people they have nothing to say, and I'm like, why the fuck am I here? And it was the most like I wish I don't know if that shit still exists anymore, but like because it was on his channel, but he conceded to every single thing that I said. And I'm like, why are you even here, sir? Are you just here like, you're like, I'm glad I'm just, like, it just seemed like one of those things, just glad to be a part of the ride. When you didn't actually have any disagreements or it was fucking annoying. I was like, you can't be this fucking stupid. But, of course, he was. He was. I remember him saying, remember when he said that he was, someone doxed him by just sharing his old YouTube channel. That's it.
Oh,
he had
yeah,
another
yeah.
YouTube channel
where he showed his face, and it was like linked to him.
It's a YouTube channel, like, and he's like, "You doxed me," and I'm like, "Nigga, I've just never. It's too much. That's too much."
The thing about him is that like I fully believe that he believes that he was doxed. Like I don't think I genuinely he's one of those people where like I don't think it's like a grift. Yeah. I mean I think it is on some level obviously because he's doing like the self-evident thing where it's like, oh, this is working, let me do more of it. But I also do think like he's genuinely not smart at all. Like he's authentically one of the stupidest people I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like I like even in person I remember meeting him and being like, this is a fucking dolt if I've ever seen one. But do you remember? Was he the one that like Bunty took a picture of sleeping at VidCon?
Out.
Was that
yeah,
him?
Dude, that is an amazing.
He passed out. I don't know. Like I around the time I was making that video, it just kind of felt like this would be a good video, and it wouldn't be invalid. But I felt like there was a possibility that he would have used it to maybe like I don't know, like it would have given him more of a reason to stick around. I think. Where I'm like, I don't know.
I gotta say, I'm a little sad now discovering this because I would have loved because to me these are the real locals, right? Like I love seeing content about these guys, these low tier grifters, because they're fascinating. It's fascinating to be in this realm to see that these people can actually make a living doing this, and they're so bad at it. That's the thing. I just keep going back to that I'm like, you're so bad at this, but you're somehow stumbling forward. You're stumbling upwards when it shouldn't. That's my Matrix moment, really, because I'm like, I just feel like people shouldn't be able to consume this content and be like, yeah, this is good. And I'm like, you want to talk about NPCs. Like, you can only be programmed to think this is good. I don't know. It just doesn't seem real to me. I'm like, how do you have a brain that can put on pants and somehow turn on an ignition to drive and shit? Like, and your brain works enough to do things like that. But you see these people that aren't making any points, and they're like, yeah, that's good. That's really good. And I'm like, I don't get it, man. It should it's the Matrix. I'm like, fuck it, man. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Last one.
Channel. I can't wait.
I cannot wait. I'm gonna say this wild shit.
Last one.
I'm just gonna be a fucking fire stoker.
I'm. By the way, I'm totally serious. I'm making this like the second we get off this. I'm getting on my iPad. I'm gonna draw up this. Character. I'm so excited. But last question, and then we'll get the fuck out of here. Coming on his skin, the gaping will not yield her, and he says, "Hey, Snark gets." It's kind of inelegant to say.
I was Linkin Park.
But he says, any of you into board games? Personally, there's a magic of having everyone together to play something.
I love board games.
It depends. It depends on the game. There are... Look, with all due respect, can we... How do I say this? There needs to be a moratorium on certain games. I think certain games need to go away forever. Like certain board games.
Which ones?
Cards Against Humanity needs to go away.
That's not really a
Cards
board
Against
game.
Humanity
But
is,
I get you.
It is. It is though. Like I understand what you mean. It doesn't have a board per se, but like, you know what I mean.
So
like
that's more of a party game
vibe.
than a board
Same
game.
vibe.
Well,
yeah, I get it.
That's to
I
me
get it.
like the same shit. Like it's a board game is just a physical game that you play with other people. In my opinion, that isn't like physically demanding. It's not like tag or something. But. Cards Against Humanity needs to go away. Like, Cards Against Humanity hasn't been fun for, 10 years now. And every time I see it brought to a party, it's always just like, what are we doing? Let's
They
just
don't go
jump
hard
into
enough.
Quiplash.
They don't go hard enough for Cards Against Humanity. Yes, if you're gonna go hard, you got to go hard.
It's
with the
pre-written
game.
jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing about it is like Cards Against Humanity is fun the first time you play it. The second time, maybe. But like by the third time, like you've seen all these cards, you get it. Like there's nothing left, and it's like you can only laugh at the same joke so many times. It's why Quiplash is way better. Like just like that's like it took it and it's like you make shit up. Like now that game devolves into the same kind of like predictable stuff too. But at the very least, it's like it changes depending on who's playing.
There's another version of it where people write prompts. And you have to make jokes with the prompts people make. That version of the new Jackbox game. That game is crazy good. But Quiplash is kind of boring as well, too. The game we play... my favorite...
But it's better than Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, for sure. My favorite card game we have is one we play called Secret Hitler. I love that game.
I've heard of it. I just don't know what it is.
So fucking funny. It's just lying. It's lying to each other constantly.
Yeah.
And... oftentimes, I'm really bad at lying. I'm not a good liar. So I just laugh my ass off whenever something happens.
I like games like Taboo. It doesn't have to be Taboo, but like trying to work with somebody else to get them to say something that you're not allowed to tell them to say. Because it becomes really frustrating. There's one caveman variant of it that I thought was really
one
funny.
word, poetry for Neanderthals.
That's what it's called? Yeah. Jesus Christ. Great name, guys.
Hey, man.
I actually, interesting enough, it was literally just last night that JoJo was talking about board games, and she never played them growing up. She had Monopoly, and she didn't get her family to play it because I was like, bro, of course not. That game's fucking, that's just a game it's just frustrating. It's not even fun.
I love Monopoly, but
Monopoly it's fun for like 10 minutes, and then it starts getting annoying. because there's some.
It's just
that's
someone
why-
being addicted. I love Monopoly.
There's just
I
someone
love
that
that
just
game. I
goes
think it
too
was so
hard.
fun.
They get a little bit too, and you're like, all right, man, calm down. Like you're really trying to crush everybody, and
That's Lily. She gets really fucking mean in Monopoly, dude. It's like, whoa, bro. And I start feeling bad because I'm like, dude, I'm keeping people in poverty. Like, I'm preventing people from having decent lives because of the amount of rent I have. So I just sell my shit eventually. I can't do this no more. And I sell all my shit away, and I don't want to play anymore.
yeah, it is what it is. I like some of the classics like Trouble or Pop-O-Matic, whatever the fuck that shit's called, or Sorry. There were some like classic board games like that. I actually want to buy some of those. And then just so like people, I feel like there's some classic American ones that everybody should experience. But
There's Life.
But as far as like, I'm be honest, a lot of like that stuff I don't care anymore because I just kind of want it to. I just feel like video games replace that shit. To me, it's just so interesting to like pass around controllers. Every time I go to my friend's house, we're lazy. We just keep popping in like old Mortal Kombat games or something. And then we just pass around the controllers and, or we try to do like, oh, let's try to beat it on master, like on the hardest setting or something like that. And it's fucking like impossible.
Yeah.
And we just have a good time trying. And then we'll give up on Trilogy because it's on Mortal Kombat Trilogy and we'll just be the bosses and just kick everyone's ass after we're done. We're like, all right, fuck this. Fuck this shit.
The thing that's frustrating about board games is that like pieces get missing and then parts of the game get damaged and it's just kind of like, I don't know. Once one piece of the game is missing, it kind of feels like it's like an incomplete. Like I remember playing Monopoly, and I remember the Monopoly that we had like we had two thimbles, or we had two character pieces to use, and so we would just end up using like I'm the guitar pick. Or like I'm the fucking the AA battery. And it'd just be like, well, this isn't very. This kind of breaks it a little bit.
Kind of breaks immersion for this board game.
Breaks the immersion for this board. I have Spider-Man Monopoly, which is like a weird one.
I have a few. I have one Pokemon one that I really like.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. I want to get some of that classic shit. I definitely want to get some of the classic ones. You know what pissed me off? Fucking Jumanji came out. I'm like, oh man. And then they put Jumanji the board game and it looked fucking gay. I was like, why would you not make it look like the thing in the movie? Which would make me buy it. At least if it looked like the piece. Now I'm sure somebody has some novelty shit like that flying around, probably made out of like die cast or something. But like the one that you buy on it, it just looked like the biggest piece of shit. And I'm like, I can't believe this.
I couldn't bring myself to play Monopoly.
When you were a kid?
In general, you can't play Monopoly in my house. Like, you gotta play Monopoly somewhere else. I know nothing's gonna happen, but like I just don't want to be roped into that shit any way possible. Like the hijinks that ensue from that movie have scarred me to a degree.
You mean Jumanji?
You mean Jumanji?
Jumanji. I was like
Monopoly. Yeah,
you said
I was
Monopoly.
like, wait, it's weird that he's talking about Monopoly now, and it's just, but then
sorry, Jumanji.
Okay, got you.
Because I just be like, no, I don't want to walk into my bedroom and there's a fucking line in there. That movie's fake. That line would have went straight through that bedroom door and would have killed that woman.
Yeah, it is weird that they just don't. They don't understand what sells about these things.
Fucking dumb assholes.
Anyway, let's get the fuck out of here. We're gonna read our $25 and up patrons now. If you want to have your name read at the end of the show and make me say stuff that makes me upset, go on over to patreon.com/thesnarktank and throw us a bone. All right, you're gonna count me down.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Tim Waltz assassinated Jeffrey Epstein while Bernie Sanders watched approvingly. Jay-Z inhaling an entire bag of flour in one sniff. Queef Man front farting justice upon villainy. Kingston's N-word swear jar could pay for Keith David as a guest. Race Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Spick. Joe Bomna. What the hell?
Joe Bomna.
How the little piggies will grunt when they hear how the old boar suffered. You're laughing. They're doing transgender surgeries on illegal aliens that are in prison, and you're laughing. Cerberus Media Group bankrolled by Reapers today. Smashing gay pumpkins be like penetration, dirty penis, lubrication on myself. I fuck brothers, women zero. Thrust my face into, and then it's blank. The Silver Spermer and the Legend of the Coctua's penis Grippin, playing Cyberpunk for the first time. Hey, enjoy
Nice.
it. You waited the perfect amount of time because you're playing a way better version of the game than I did.
Hey, it's me, V. You got the Eddies.
Hey, it's me.
Get the Eddies, man.
Hey, it's me. You got Eddies, bro. This is just like the horchata con bichuela that
Venezuela makes.
every fucking mañana, fool.
that mi abuelito used to make for me in la noche.
Muy gusta tres leche, mucho.
Muy bueno. Chupa
Muy
merca,
bien, muy
Otra
bien.
vez, sí, claro, claro.
La vaca. Oh my god!
I love Jackie Wells,
He's-
man. I like that. I like him a lot.
He's such a fucking cardboard cutout Mexican.
He's
It's
so
crazy. Penis gripping.
he's so stereotypically comedically Mexican. It's like, damn, bro, don't touch me. But
Which is
you're
so
cool,
weird
though.
is that like
Yeah, it's me. I gotta get
grew
back
up-
home, fucking my sister after I eat my fucking dog.
I grew up with a bunch of
Duchess
Mexicans,
Punk.
and they just don't do that. Like they don't
They don't do it.
that.
That's
Nobody
like,
does that.
That's like not Mexicans weed and meat in our era. Like
That's
that's
like
like
an N-
Mexicans
that-
in like the
that's-
70s and 80s and shit like that.
You know what that is? That's an NCIS
yeah,
Mexican.
dude. yeah, totally. It totally is. I'm like, dude, they don't fucking
Like Orale, no one says that. Like I've never heard a
Orale.
Mexican say that ever.
cholos. That's it.
Ever.
Only cholos. If their head isn't bald,
I haven't even heard a cholo
I've
say it,
definitely
dude.
heard it.
I remember it's like, what are you guys? Did that fall out of relevance? It's like, nah, that's nothing you say anymore.
we had like cholos like
they say nigga.
we had cholos like cats over here. You know how there's just cats everywhere. There's always just everywhere. So like there's just cholos just everywhere, and they just were like, hey, orale. Hey, and like it was their stereotypes are it's real. Like like if you're trying to do a movie, it's the same fucking thing. That's why I love.
Did they do
Yeah.
the walk?
I love cholos because how stereotypical they were. It was fascinating.
Nah, I don't like cholos.
All right.
They're coming into
Duchess
our country. They're taking our
puckered-
jobs.
All right. Duchess puckered pink man pussy. Vaughn of the Dead. I think my voice is going away.
Oh,
God damn it. Vaughn of the Dead, that's wild. Sweeney is right on most topics. Round-eyed Asian. If Hung Metro don't fuck you, he gonna suck you. My penis looks like a little mouse's nose.
I don't know what that is.
That's fucking crazy. That it's a little mouse specifically is wild. I live 20 minutes from where Mr. Hands was shot. If you like baby metal, listen to Hannibal. Blair White canonically banging Alex Jones. Next time you think you can't do something, always remember every right-winger on earth became an expert on Haitian culture in just a few days.
100.
The second coming of Miguel O'Hara's trans-mass pussy, the xenomorph in the audience revealing itself by using the dick in its human suit like a zipper. Derek using dumb cunt contextually correct. Swoon. Death. Is that what is that? Oh. That looks that on my screen. It's so blurry. It looked genuinely scary.
yeah.
Jack the World's Fastest Maori, paying 50 NZD a month only to change the last part of my name and have Sweeney read it wrong.
Nice.
In this classroom, the gunshots don't dismiss you. If y'all were Alvin and the Chipmunks, Derek would be Simon because of how badly I want to
Whoa.
fuck him. Big meaty stinks. They should replace the balls.
Why do you want?
That is crazy. That's a crazy to be read fast.
There's a.
Why do you want to fuck
there
Simon
should-
so badly?
They should replace the balls.
And
They should
you.
replace the balls in the NFL with newborn babies for easier kicks. Andy, the man whose handy is now A tier but not as dandy. 1992 space movie. Shut up.
Hell yeah.
Every day in my sheets, you hear gluck 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 gluck. Heath Smoker Mag Negro in his metal durag
Bro,
popping
did
Professor
you see that
Xanax.
shit on Twitter?
The chrome durag looks fire.
That shit was
looks
amazing.
I did not see that.
I actually was like, for 2 seconds, I was like, I'm gonna see how much it costs, and then I was like, shut the fuck up, Derek. Shut the fuck up. This is not real.
Derek caught Gids. Derek caught on tape elbow deep fisting Charlie Sheen at the Diddy party.
I'd be so upset.
That's insane.
I'd be so.
Yeah, I would be upset if I got caught doing that.
Honestly,
I wouldn't.
Not if I did
wouldn't
it,
do
but
that
like if
to
I got
him.
caught.
That's what would make me upset. I'm like, him? Charlie
not?
Sheen? I don't.
Dick so hard to make the metal detector go off. I 9 on his 11, so he ain't never forget.
Nice.
Ront re such a raggy rocket. Scream blast energy of a mime's shattered silence. What the fuck? Kevin Durant's feet. Tim Pool takes money from Big Beanie. Relinquish ye contents of ye pockets, brev, or thou shalt chef a man up. Mr. Pants. Sweeney fisting himself until it comes out of his mouth, saying it's a Caribbean thing. Sees Jay the Dorito Pope. They call me the Cup. Dumb. Concord's Bad Fur Day. Nice. Cardboard Pie. Spumbafutters. If Jury Han was real, I'd probably be saying shit people say in porn comments while fucking her. That's insane. Jolly Old Dipshit. Grizzly Man Death Recording RFK. Grizzly Man Death Recording RFK AI cover. Cyphergraph. Freak Bob. Okay, if you won't get Bunty, what about Smokey? You telling me babies... You telling me babies found this oil?
Babies?
Hunter Dubois, take the 40K pill, brother. Brother, I'm Gay by Frank Gay Natra.
Gay Natra. I love it.
Oh shit!
I did it. I'm gay. So stupid. What's up, homo dude? I'm coming into you. I'm gonna fuck your tight pussy. I'm a homo dude. Penis, I love you. What's up, homo dude? Costco Wiener Haver. Rise Against is the use for straight men. Smitchy the Kid. Can we get the outro for the podcast back? It allowed us to know when it was actually over. Patreon just cuts
What
off
was
before
the
the end.
outro?
Poopy Possum.
What was it? Because should I just get what you used to use?
It was literally just the end of the full version of the song. I would just kind of I would take the end of the track because it had that the snare that would fade out, and I would just kind of start it. I would fade it in over our ending banter, and then eventually it would just kind of trail off. And that's what I would do. I don't know if people
I'll
want it
look
back.
into it because
I guess
I actually on the last episode I was thinking about that. And I couldn't remember, and then I was thinking I was going to use something else, but then my mind was getting too, stupid. I was like, I'm going to use something really annoying and dumb, but then I was like, all right, never mind. I didn't want to. Yeah,
that's what I used to do, but that's when I was editing the show, so that was so long ago. But, I mean...
I was just getting something, because it's specifically, I guess, a patron issue, because, obviously everything finishes correctly on the free feeds, the fucking YouTube video, so it must be when I upload directly to the feed of Patreon is what's the issue. It cuts off, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could put it's a pretty easy, the full song has a natural ending, so I usually just cut
a little bit of
the ending and layer it. Anyway, listening to Anne Hathaway say the N-word, singing Tupac's How Do You Want It? I Show Speed joined the IRA. Devin is pregnant. I'd fall asleep to N-word compilations. British people come, then be like, what's all this then?
What's all this, Jen?
What? Shannon Sharp railing someone live on IG. No way I'm hanging out with a couple of gooners. Skewing your viewer demographics as a gay mom instead of a gay mom of 5 instead of a gay homeless teenager. Transfem Gremlin, Yush, Blizzard trying to distract from massive layoffs by revealing that you, the player, are gay. Craig the Canadian, Sweeney is... Jesus Christ. Sweeney is fat and retarded and can't read for shit. Get glasses.
Damn,
Thank you for the $25.
Damn.
Damn, you just paid me, bro. That's crazy.
Thanks for the money. It's your boy Shawnee D. Derek sacrificing 3 years of his life trying to open that one Starbucks bottle. I dreamed I watched a 4-hour YouTube tutorial of Willem Dafoe showing you how to change a wagon's wheel, but the horse was a hitch.
Okay.
3XO letting the 3 Musket dumbasses know that the suffix "file" means that you like something. It's opposite of phobia.
You didn't say it was a phobia. Said
okay.
Thanks for letting me
said
know.
fucking obsession.
Yeah.
The fuck? What's this guy talking about?
I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. He paid us. Whatever. Thanks. The euphoric feeling from being on HRT for 7 months and having my penis shrink from 6 inches erect to 4 inches erect. I mean, all right.
Annoyed me.
Slurping, stroking, smoking, joking. Emoticons going like this. Kendrick Ligmar. Ken Dick Ligmar be like trying to suck a cock, and it's probably D major.
Did you say Ken Dick?
MH with the dripful one. I don't know, man. I wonder if Patreon will let me say the N word. It's full on hard R. It will. Obi, won't you blow me? I beat him off. Suck his penis just to show that I'm gay. Kremlin to Gremlin. 50 cent, 250 cent. 50 Cent, 250 blood in my piss.
Blood in my piss. Damn.
That would be an amazing video game. 50 Cent blood in my piss. Evil Sween says, I love the gays. You'll have to cast divine intervention to remove my head from between Shadowheart's legs. Absolutely.
Twice.
There's only one queer. Yeah, for sure. I would live down there. There's only one queer left. Good job taking all that dick at my party, Daddy Sween. XOXO Puff Daddy. P.S. Bring the other two next time. Wage Slave 583. It's not true. Didn't happen. Papini Brothers presents Vegeta's Galactic Food Review Channel. Donk Donkerson. Oh, yeah, oi, you be a good cunt and come bounce on me cock in the back of the book of the Beppo. Gade 6. Jack Skellington after walking through the 9/11 holiday door. What's this? What's this? There's debris everywhere. What's this? PP Sweenby like the idea of forceful cum is a Caribbean thing. Snark Tank. I wish we could grift. It looks so easy. Also, Snark Tank, Dave Rubin is a piece of shit for grifting. It's true. I mean, it is true.
There's nothing contradictory about
both
that
of those
at all.
are simultaneously
I
accurate.
wish I was a piece of shit.
I
so
wish
I
I could
get grifting money.
I wish I didn't have the morals that I have, so that I could just have a lot of money.
Go ahead.
Because I think something that's like really difficult to conceptual. I don't know. Maybe I think about this a lot, but it's like being rich is not difficult. Being rich ethically is difficult. Like, it is very, very easy to make a shit ton of money if you just don't care about your fellow man. Like, it's very, very easy.
1,000 billion%. That's the thing. I feel like, I don't know why, like, say, the person that wrote in, thank you for being a patron, but it's just, like, that is a very easy, it's like, man, I wish I didn't have morals and ethics. I wish I can just grift and just step on toes and fuck people over, and I would be very wealthy. But the thing is, we do have morals and ethics and integrity and shit, so we just do our thing and try to get our slice of the pie in a normal way. And sometimes I wish I got in a coma, like me getting a car crash, and then I wake up being a fucking demon. And then all of a sudden,
I don't think you want that. I think you think you want that.
Well, that's exactly what it is. I think I want it.
We want the benefits. We want the benefits of
that's
it.
trapped inside of your brain that's still decent is like, what the fuck am I doing?
Vagina, needy fishy, Fagnito versus the gay sex man. I'll carpet bomb the Gaza Strip for a quarter. John Strickland. I will in fact be wearing a suit and tie to the Super Bowl. Merck's 1889. I refuse to wear a rubber. Either I'm all in or I'm out, baby. The first Judge Keith David featuring American So Racist. Featuring an American so racist, incest has become his only option. That's crazy. 8 gorillas versus 3 Jeepers Creepers. Who's winning? ifuckcouches.com redirects to JD Vance's website. Pre-Roz.
That's pretty cool.
Spread your cheeks so I can shit in your ass. Blake 896. Anna Sorokin is currently on Dancing with the Stars. When I was a kid, I bought San Andreas at a wet market, and CJ was white. No, that's not true.
What?
That can't be real. Alaskan oilfield trash, Texas tater salad, Young Sheldon being beaten to death by Jay-Z. Tickle my ass hairs, Nikki Jizzy, formerly known as Nikki Ziggy, cocksucker. Honest to God, for real, congrats to Sween on losing weight. Good shit, man. Keep it up. Derek will listen to the band Kansas.
Listen to the band Wilk.
WULKANAZ. Wilkanzas?
I don't.
Wilkanaz?
Yeah.
I never heard of this.
A lot of suggestions.
Sorry, Miss Jackson. Badly Brave, Hugger Derek, Duck Hunt, Aetherian, Brazilian Punter, Nafram, Melphis One, Plays Zero Ranger, and Void Stranger. This is a threat. And rounding out our list as always, the king of haphazard. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Snark Tank Podcast. Remember, leave us nice reviews on Apple, iTunes, all that stuff. Leave a comment. Leave a like if you liked.
Is
that Will Kansas?
Something tells me
yeah, there it is.
Probably like some racist shit or something.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I only see it's blurry on my end, so it looks like what do you call a Rorschach test in some way? But it feels like even in a Rorschach form, it feels racist.
We'll see.
But yeah. So thanks for listening to the show. We'll be back to normal. Probably not in the next episode, but probably the one after. I'm not super sure yet, but by next week, everything I'll be back home, I think. And we'll be back to recording in person. So thanks for listening. Remember patreon.com/snarktank, snarktank.shop. Bye.
There's only one nigga left. Na, 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 na.